All right. Thanks, Kurt, for coming in. This is huge.
Thanks, man. I heard you injured yourself
Skating.
skateboarding.
I stole Crazy Valor at the valet. Yeah. The guy was like, dude, there's a skate competition here this weekend. I
challenge any veteran of armed conflict to even match the honor of a middle-aged man hurting himself skateboarding.
It's so bad.
Everyone, I will stand on that business.
Everyone I talk to, I'm just like, yeah, it was skateboarding. I just hope that conversation ends there.
Yeah, when you say skate, I was out.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, boarding. All right, so you're not gay.
Yeah, not absolutely gay. I never got a chance to go to Arden, though.
Well, good. I think you shouldn't.
Dude, it's so close.
I just want to scope it out. I listened to that Jay Parker Higher Side Chess. It's fucking nuts. Dude,
that shit's scary,
kids
bro.
are going disappearing.
So before I heard of Arden, I heard it from him first. So the lens that I watched, did you look at the PBS thing I say you?
Which PBS thing?
Oh, all about Arden, Delaware.
Yeah.
They claim Joe Biden as a resident.
Yeah. Jay's got another story. I have his number. I gotta call him. Passio gave, or his friend, I think his name's Karen. She goes, oh, he'd love you to call them, and I just haven't.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of like stuff to absorb in one. You gotta like emotionally.
Yeah. I was listening to it in the sauna, like, what the fuck's going on?
Well, so when I first watched it, I stumbled onto it from looking up UFO crap for a joke. Because I wanted to see what like the aliens' racisms are.
Yeah.
Okay, like
the tall whites.
Yes, I'm sitting there. It's like I think I had COVID. I was all fucked up. It was like after I got my second shot, I of course immediately got COVID.
Yeah,
and then so that means it's working.
Yep,
and
trust it.
It's so effective.
I'm laying there with my skeleton is sore, and
I could feel my bones.
Yeah, I saw this thing. It said the testimony of Charles Hall, and it's like this Madison, the most mild-mannered, country dumb. Like he's a nuclear physicist. I'm pretty sure his degree. is in nuclear physics. But he's like, and then I worked on a weather station, and it sounds like fucking Private Gump.
Yeah.
Clearly, it's an experiment to see how aliens interact with the most non-aggressive man that we could find on this planet. Who doesn't mind being treated like Lee Daniels, the butler, by the tall whites.
He gets wrecked by the tall whites.
They
cut his throat and like leave him to die.
Well, that's in the book. That's not in the video. So I have never gotten the books, and I was like, maybe if I can get them on Audible, I will, because I don't want to order them and wait for it to show up. But here's what stuck out to me about what he's talking about. So, like, one, he goes, yeah, they're here to save the whales or something. Like they literally, it's like with the Philippines. Like an air base for them, and that's it. And they're like, don't touch us, don't come. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And be what you say you're gonna say. We're strong as gorillas compared to them. That's a quote.
That's what they said.
That's what Charles Hall said.
Yeah.
Okay, we're strong as gorillas compared to them.
Probably just they're apes.
They're like a tall, like a
yeah. And then I start to go, wait a minute. This story sounds familiar. Hold on just a second. You telling me there's whiter things at the very top of the White Pyramid? So it made me laugh so much. I started looking into that because I was like, I want to know, like, they don't, because he talks about their race. Oh, this is another thing I've never heard anybody say talking about aliens. He said, that's all I want to hear. Something I just haven't heard already.
Yeah.
Because I already heard a lot of shit.
Yeah.
I want to be bored. He said they thought it was weird we have relationships with animals here that could kill us, like a horse.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Okay? A horse could kill you. And they thought that's wild. So that's like another Orientalist, we're like, what are we, like Bushmen to that?
Yeah.
But he said this alien chick told him that on most intelligent worlds, any animal that's even a little bit dangerous, they immediately kill them all off and make them extinct. And I was like, that is very interesting. That ain't no Star Trek 4 Save the Whales shit.
Yeah.
In fact, I think he had it in for part 4. That's why he kept bringing up, they're not here to save the whales. He must have saw part 4 as a nerd, and it set him off because he knew aliens.
Yeah.
Star Trek 4 is nice.
I've never
seen to save a whale in San Francisco, and I remember the one dude goes, Bones goes to the hospital, and they're still doing dialysis, and he's like, they're animals. He has like a tricorder.
Do you remember also? He types a thing. My favorite, the guy's on a computer. I don't know where the hell they are. Nuclear scientist, like doop, doop, doop. And he just comes over. He goes, "What is this?" He goes, "Beep, beep, beep." And then the guy goes, "Transparent aluminum."
Yo, yeah. He finds it. Yeah, it's Scotty.
Okay, so
Scotty invents transparent aluminum by accident in 1984.
So that's what
you
I
also
heard
got
of
to see
it,
First Contact. First Contact Star Trek's nice. when they first meet the Romulans.
Oh yeah. Okay, so transparent aluminum's a real thing.
Is it really?
100%. I don't know when exactly it was invented, but that's when I first heard of it as a kid. So it probably had been around a while, is my guess.
Yeah.
Because, as you know, TV shows, it's not that they do disclosure on that. I mean, maybe they do. I don't. They probably do. But for the most part, it's a lot of comedy writers, or not comedy writers, any kind of writer.
Like the Simpsons guys
The
are all
shit
like
that
Harvard
you're into
grads.
and I'm into. What do you think? Writers that go and look for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
George
what
R.
do you
Martin.
think? What do you think about the Simpsons stuff? The Simpsons always get this
Those
shit
guys
right.
all went to Harvard. So let me tell you something. Just by virtue of going to Harvard, you're around the future
Yeah,
thought
the
leaders
elites,
of them.
yeah.
So all these ideas the elites have for you, they're not new. They've had them for quite some time. So if you went to a good school, you'd know that, and the Simpsons writers do. And they're not trying. I promise,
Fucking
not trying to
Conan went
expose
there.
shit.
Conan was one of them dudes.
Yeah, they're not trying to expose shit. It's just the circle they're in. Okay? And you talk. So if you know political people, that's why Tucker Carlson came on Jimmy's show. It's very interesting how because he's from the most
Oh yeah.
DC, and DC is, if you didn't grow up there, and I understand until I started playing
Swamp,
there.
bro.
Well, I mean, a swamp, the thing that filters water to give us fresh drinking water. I don't like. I'm not comfortable with it, but it's
Too nice of a.
Yeah, it's too. A swamp is like useful.
Wait, that's what swamps do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Learned something here.
That's crazy.
I always would joke about that when I heard drain the swamp, but there's always some kind of psychological imagery with like lizard people. They
Yeah,
always got to
yeah.
push
Oh,
on
yeah.
you in some fucking way. And I
it's like
think
their thing.
well, he was part plant, right?
Yeah, yeah.
No, wait.
He comes out. Wait, no,
Not
Swamp
the
Thing.
thing.
I'm thinking about Swamp Thing. Yeah,
Yeah. No, I knew who you
yeah,
meant.
yeah.
Dude,
My
you didn't
bad,
have
my
to finish
bad.
his name. I already know. Want to talk about valor?
Yeah.
Guy got mutilated into a living soy creature.
I don't know any of this shit with the movies and the
That's
sci-fi.
an old Swamp Thing's an old one. Dude.
Anyway, I went way off topic, but I was trying to look into alien racisms for a Derp with Curb podcast, and then so I'm looking for stuff and I'm watching everything, and then a comic friend of mine, Buddy Bolton. Okay, I'm watching Linda Moulton Howe. You ever watch her?
I've heard that name before though.
Oh, she's been around forever. She's like the aggregator of every single UFO thing.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Now, I would just say, because I'm sure most of these people, there's somebody like she's been exposed or in some way.
Yeah, they always
or-
do that. Yeah.
But again, you compare that to the regular news. like, I mean, maybe it's all CIA. I heard her saying dumb shit about Putin, that like Ukraine's happening because of one man's
Yeah, yeah.
thing. And I'm like, are you in the know, like you said? Because I happen to know there's a lot more to it, and you're supposed to know intel people from
Yeah.
spaceship clearance.
There's a lady from I think Real Housewives, like New Jersey, who allegedly has Pentagon insiders about the UAPs that are flying now.
Well,
I want to know what
okay.
kind of like natural insider stuff Tucker has because his dad was in the fucking Voice of America
buddy,
and all that stuff.
You should have hung out at the party at Mothership, man. Because there's no doubt there's probably CIA guys just at the Christmas party.
Are you serious?
yeah.
Dead serious.
They've infiltrated.
Dude, I don't know what people think this. First of all, you think the biggest platform in the biggest podcast in the world?
I know. Yeah. I mean, you gotta tell
Do
me.
you think they're not? I don't know if people think you don't live in North fucking Korea, but
Yes.
the only thing that separates you from North Korea is how good of a job they do, not making it not look like North Korea.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
You get tacos and
So
stuff.
they're
That
not
was like
doing a
one
great
of our-
job now, by the way.
Me and Bill used to talk all the time, and then just be like, "Dude, I think we're just North Korea."
yeah.
Because like we slowly just
Dude,
be
South
like,
Korea is just North Korea with lights.
"Yeah, yeah."
And they always make it, that's what they tell you. Oh, look at nighttime, North Korea is totally dark and they're getting a great night's sleep.
Yeah. Literally, yeah.
The way God intended. And then look at South Korea, all lit up like a piece of shit casino all
Yeah,
night.
you can never
See how much
fall
better?
asleep.
And then their slaves have to, I don't know what their slaves do. They have to play Killing in the Name of perfectly on a cello. Okay. And then South Korea boy band.
The weirdest thing about North Korea is that chick with big tits that came out of it.
Yeah.
That went on
She
like Rogan and
yeah.
everything.
Well, it's not weird, and I know this from going to China. They will tell you the fattest asses and titties of Asians are Koreans, and
Really?
that was the word for
Those were
straight-
bolt-ons, though.
What?
Those were bolt-ons.
What did you say?
Fake tits.
Okay, I just realized you said bolt-ons,
Yes.
which is fucking hilarious. But it was such a heavy Philly hoagie mouth accent that
I'm
I thought you said
congested as
boat
well.
on.
No.
Yeah. It's like a
Boat-ons.
cold,
They're
and I'm
boat-ons.
from
I'm
Baltimore.
fucked.
Boat ons. Yeah, bolt-ons. Do that? How they put them on?
I think so. I don't know.
In North Korea, it is.
Yeah, that chick came out, was on like PBD, Rogan, all that stuff. That was
Do you watch Patrick Bet Value?
yes, dude.
Because it's hard.
PBV.
Yeah,
He's the real Jew.
dude. Jimmy went to Value Largo, his house.
Are you serious? Is it sick?
Yeah, I'm sure he's a MLM billionaire.
The chick's
Yeah.
name's Yeonomi Park. Or Yeonomi.
Yeonmi Park. So
Yeonmi Park.
Mike Malice is, I think, friends with Mike Malice. Knows all this stuff about North Korea. North Korea, by the way, is where America, like the space race, Manchurian Candidate movies. So after the Korean War, which ended in a stalemate for, that's why they have that order.
38th parallel or whatever.
Yeah, there was like 8. I want to say 8, but maybe less or more POWs that didn't want to be repatriated.
Oh, the brainwashed people.
And
Yeah.
they go, but I don't. So I remembered that, but I remember this part, which is they said, no, the U.S. is using biological weapons on the Koreans.
Yeah.
So all the crazy shit that they say about America and North Korea, you think we didn't do that? Because here's what happened after he said that. Obviously, that can't be possible because we'd never break the laws we literally just made. It's America. They must be perfectly brainwashed and mind controlled. That's the
Yeah.
only explanation.
Yeah.
Obviously, America wouldn't have used biological weapons. Well, now we know mind control exists. We better be the best at it.
Yeah.
We better and they started a mind control race. So
That's where it came from?
yeah, look it up. So I'm my fucking LeVar Burton. Go to your library. But yeah, so that's where all that Manchurian Candidate shit.
That movie's nice.
Well, it's funny. Like a lot of these things, like the Yuri Bezmenov, where he's talking about how
Yeah.
the communists go in a country, and it was in Call of Duty, one of them.
Really?
How did the dude with the glasses? He's like an older guy, and he's like, it takes 20 years to destabilize a country. We get in there and do the,
I saw Jack Barsky on Patrick Bet Value show trashing that guy because Jack Barsky was a Russian, like a real one,
Yeah.
and that guy is not a real. He's like it's called cutouts and assets, and it's not like you have a guy who goes find scumbags, and then they know a scumbag. If you need another scum, and it doesn't go to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I think the Bezmenov guy is. But the thing he describes is real. But the Soviets didn't do that to us. Also, they lost that war. Remember, they collapsed.
Yeah.
Oh, no communist countries ever had like a revolution. It's only collapsed under its own weight. No one's ever invaded them and ended communism ever.
Can't do it.
They just fail.
I mean, if
Yeah.
it's the same people that are communists here that do it in other countries, I can totally see how it kind of just fails on its own.
Pussies, man.
Well, that's historical in the books. Maybe there's all kinds of skullduggery. I don't know. I was in the skullduggery society at Yale. So here's who did do that. America did that to America. All your oligarchs who fucking made all the fake things you think are, important in your life. So they brought that Frankfurt school, who was already here. They had already been brought over before the
Dude,
war.
did you see pictures of them in San Diego with like wool suits?
Yeah, because
Brutal fucks.
Okay, so even those guys didn't know the extent of how they're being used. They're a lot like so they were sent back to Germany to teach the Germans that it's all their fault about Hitler. The people that are like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, I voted for the other guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like, no, you are collectively responsible. And how do you put that on a society? And these guys are like atheists.
Yeah.
It's called the Frankfurt School because it used to be like the Marxist school or whatever. And it was like they couldn't figure out why Marxism hadn't taken over. I'm oversimplifying it. And by the way, I don't have an allergy when someone says Marxism that I have to go.
Yeah. Freak out.
I don't understand why if it doesn't work. I believe you. It can't work.
Yeah.
Why do we spend so much money fighting it? A thing that doesn't even work. That seems like a waste.
Yeah, that's a good. I mean, there's a bunch of documentaries where they go into like communism and capitalism, and all those people come together, and it's just all the same dudes invented it.
Oh yeah, like when they're like,
Dude, bottom line is that what you just fucking said.
Yeah.
It's like you could go, because people roll their eyes at Freemasons.
Who's the main communist guy in fucking Lenin or whatever? They sent it.
No, it was Marx.
Or they sent one of them back with a ton of money. He had no money, and he like came over to New York, and then they sent him back to Russia, and he was loaded.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, start a revolution."
That's Lenin.
Yeah, Lenin.
That
yeah.
was Germany's. Germany was. That's the other thing with these. Like, oh no, they all do gain of function. These fuckheads. Every war, like they like that. They call it the dialectic. That's what
Oh yeah,
we're in right
Hegelian
now.
dialectic. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love
That's
that.
how we
Yeah.
made the COVID virus at Wuhan.
Yeah.
Like yes, no, and let's see how it adapts.
Just beef it up.
Yeah.
That's why Trump was a gain of function for them.
Oh, yeah,
he was there to be a heel, to take heel, while they want to have Hillary do a baby face turn. The people that like her don't like her because she's baby face. They like her because she's a heel.
It's weird.
Don't work. It don't work.
It's weird, like because
She's an abuela, dude.
Hillary was nasty, dude. Like
She
the
was a
whole like,
cunt.
like,
Okay,
like,
you ever been
we
to New
got
York?
him Gaddafi.
Oh.
Like they fucking.
Well,
that's
I
what they
didn't know
just
he
did
was
that Assad shit.
I didn't know he was like the greatest president in the history of Libya. I didn't
crazy,
know.
bro.
I saw a Showtime thing called Gaddafi Mad Dog, all about what an asshole he was.
Oh, obviously.
And
There's a
here's
video of him telling all the other Arab countries, like, bro.
We just played it on Jimmy's show.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. He's like, dude, don't be friends with these Americans. They won't be your friend.
No,
Like,
he goes.
you will be the Native Americans.
He goes. Listen, I don't even like. I can't remember who he was talking about. Like, I don't fucking like Syria, dude. But you
Yeah.
know they're coming from.
Oh, yeah.
It was like the pimp scene from.
Assad's laughing at him.
Yeah.
In the UN one,
I think
Assad's
he's laughing
at
with him.
Oh right, okay.
No, they're all chuckling because they all know what the fuck are they going to do about it.
I know, yeah. It's
Okay,
sad.
that's a gangster meeting or like the pimp meeting from what's that movie that Black Dynamite takes the scene from?
He's the movie guy, bro.
I don't know what are you talking
There's a
about.
black exploitation movie about pimps. It's
Oh,
like-
Dolomite?
Oh
No,
no,
not Dolomite, where they're having a pimp meeting. They're like, my brothers, we need to get together.
I can't remember. The name
I can
of
dig it. Can you? Yes, brother, I can dig it. I can't remember. But they did it in Black Dynamite. They did a funny version of it.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking at. Because that's what they all are. So the biggest gangster would be us.
Dude, Arab exploitation movies or whatever you'd call that would be great.
Dude, I want to make one. Okay, you just reminded me of a children's book that I want to make. Because you remember Whole Foods like AI.
Black Dynamite is just the name of the movie with Tommy Robinson.
You never saw Black Dynamite with what's his name? Spawn, isn't it? It's funny as shit. Wait, what was I talking about before?
Your children's book.
Oh, okay, so you know Whole Foods had that AI ring you up at the register
Yeah,
system.
yeah.
It turned out they had just, like everybody else, it always turns out for some reason, hired some Indian guy to sit in a room with a bunch
And
of cell
watch.
phones and watch. You know, like
Yeah.
all the high tech bots and AI. A lot of them are just an Indian guy in a room full of cell phones. And so I want to make a children's book called Patoosh, the little. The boy who pretends to be AI for the.
That's crazy. They
It's like
have
Little
that at
Prince,
stores.
yeah.
You walk up to stores with a pair of pants like Uniqlo, and before you get there, it rings you up.
Oh yeah, no,
Put
yeah.
it back, computer. What it? You
just
talk
an
to the
Indian.
computer.
Those guys get the shit end of the stick. They get
Who?
paid Indians. They get paid nothing.
Happy to do it.
Dude, look at Gaddafi.
Good old buddy
88.
competitive.
That's power, bro. 88 Gaddafi.
That's the Greater Israel Project.
He's talking about
right there.
Greater
When did you?
Israel.
When did you
88.
see this? We just
Probably TikTok or something.
Wow, I'm amazed how fast.
Look at him, dude. Power. Allegedly, he had like tons of water.
Yeah.
Like he made like water wells and stuff, and everybody got fucking.
All these guys. So
Everybody went to
Assad-
college and stuff. You want to go to college? I'll send you somewhere to college.
Yeah,
I don't know how real this is. Could be part
No,
of like.
okay. They were the most prosperous country in Africa.
Right.
So before with him, like
Tallest midget, but
So
go on.
after they killed him, yeah. Well,
Smartest retard.
Well, you would think it would because they had all this stuff. Otherwise, well, and they never could really conquer it because the diseases kill white people.
Yeah.
So like
When the white man came, he put the dynamite in the mountains, and then they would kick back and they'd point at the dynamite, and then the mountain would blow up.
came where?
And then
To
in the
Africa.
Congo, and then the Congolese
Oh,
still
that's
today.
Belgium. Okay, that's Belgium.
They call the white man kaboom.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's dude. Belgium is one of the most sick fuck countries that ever existed on this planet.
I don't get confused. It's like Belgium, Holland, like they're all like one little
Marc
node.
Dutroux,
Yeah.
the Marc Dutroux thing
Oh,
that
that's-
almost brought down the
We
entire
should do a
government.
fucking episode on that.
I never looked
Yeah.
into the Tro affair.
The Tro affair is fucked up.
Well, here's what turns out with all these things.
Memory
like,
Hold thinks it's connected to Epstein.
That's wild.
okay, wait, is that a guy or a thing?
Yeah, yeah.
You gotta talk to
He's a
Memory Hold,
beast.
bro.
Okay, what do you mean he thinks it is? Of course it is. The whole thing is connected. It's a network.
That makes sense.
I think there's a possibility that there might be. Oh, do you think? Okay, like just say crack.
I just
do you
thought it
think
was like
Pablo
separate
Escobar
teams.
is connected to another drug guy?
Like different teams, like NFL teams.
No, but one that's connected to royalty like that is the one. So this is why You know, you see it like, I think they didn't want to make it legal to be gay, even though all the government's gay.
Yeah.
And all the music and all the sports play. All your heroes of sports are gay as fuck.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I'm proud of them. I'm not downing them. I hope that's clear.
Sure.
Tim Duncan tried to fuck me in the mothership green room, and I appreciate it. I don't blame Tim Duncan. The guy knows what he wants. He's not made of stone.
He's got
has
feelings.
a heart, dude.
Okay? But I was trying to explain this to Jay and Lewis, but they're both like openly gay now, so they're like, I don't understand what the problem is. I'm like, I'm just trying to get to the bit, dude. Can I? He has 4
And Tony guy
entourage,
says some sus shit.
4
bro.
entourage guys just sitting there looking and not looking. We were just talking seconds ago. The next thing they're all pretending like this isn't happening.
That this actually happened.
Yeah, dude, it's one. But again, I don't blame him.
Sure.
This is why I got to fix my knee. I,
I
have to
blame,
be able to run.
what I wonder is, what is this thing when the most gayest, proudest time? I've never been prouder of the gays.
Yeah.
And the queers and shit.
We're wearing flags.
It's the most proudest time. Why are you still hiding who you are? That's the thing that freaks people out.
Probably fun as shit.
It has to be a secret or it's not fun, dude.
Why though? Because the power you get. So that's Roy Cohn gay.
Yeah,
the most classic gay there is, Roy Cohn gay.
Trump's boy.
Blackmail gay. And that's why they didn't. Obama was against gay marriage. A guy married to a man.
Remember, did you
I don't
watch
know.
that
I
clip?
can't confirm that.
You watch that clip when Biden
can.
was like, "You got the HIV test?" To Obama, it's a nice slam. They were in the debates for like back in 08 or whatever.
Holy
and he was
shit.
like, Barack got tested. He's clear.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, slammed
That's
him
a
on
shot.
stage. Yeah, big shot
He
across
called
the
him a
bow.
homo one.
Yeah, you never
Wow.
saw that? Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Yeah,
I probably didn't think about
Yeah.
it in any way or read past it.
dude, you know what's fucking nuts? But me and Shane were looking this shit up. Biden, remember what's the guy, Bud Dwyer?
Yeah.
He wrote a letter to Biden when
About
like
what?
Before he died.
before he died. He wrote a letter about like whatever the fuck he was gonna
Situation.
like. His suicide note went to Biden.
What
don't
was
know why.
What was he guilty of that he had to blow his brains out?
It was
thought it was
Some
like
money or
some
something.
kind
shame.
of fraud or something. Yeah,
What year was it?
I have no
That
idea.
was like 90s or some shit.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
look
the
it up.
90s, dude, the amount of shit that went on in the 90s.
And Biden would have been like some kind of power back then.
No,
This was 87.
87. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we always play a clip on Jimmy's show of Biden. By the way, and fuck you if you can't handle this. This is the best Biden. Oh, no, he said, F you.
That's Biden
Morning
says
Joe.
this?
Morning
Yeah,
Joe.
Morning Joe.
He
The
goes,
guy who
Dude
killed
doesn't
someone?
know
I'm
what
going to
butter
say
is.
something and F you if you can't handle it.
Did you ever get into that shit where he killed a chick?
He has a
Oh,
burn
I
dress.
bring it.
Scarborough?
Okay, I want to just say I bring it up whenever I can.
Every time I hear him, I
I
say
find
kill
it
chick.
because it was like, how could he go and kiss the ring? He's like, look, please don't put me away for
Fucking
killing that.
killed somebody.
Well, I mean,
Accidents happen.
just so you understand, I don't know how you would even get to that point without a lot of murders under your belt.
Yeah, dude.
Let's talk
Or
about,
it was like a blackmail plant, like a Roy Cohn plant.
let's not talk. Oh, well, here's why. Now I lost my original point, but you remind me. The reason
Bro.
they didn't want to do gay marriage, okay, or any like gay rights, is
Yeah.
because you blackmail with that.
Yes.
So what's left after now you can be gay?
Ped.
Yeah, ain't gonna get rid of that. A lot of leverage in that.
I wonder,
They
like,
try
They do not try.
with minor attractive people and stuff.
Oh yeah. Wait,
Some brave souls are like, dude, it's not that bad.
it's
No,
just
no,
a
no, yeah,
preference.
right.
It's a preference. It's an orientation.
I'm sorry. I thought you meant something completely different.
No.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's like
No,
that-
it's not an orientation. Here's why. I asked somebody who was dating a some doctor or something, because I'm like, it's not? It seems like that's their thing. No. And this, again, this is how all the words are like, don't get hung up on it because they're all just words we made up. Orientation is like you want to live with someone and build a life with them.
Yeah.
They don't like the kid when the kid's an adult. The adult has to
Oh,
go
yeah.
find more kids for the guy. So
Renfield.
that's why it's not an orientation.
Okay, I like
You
that.
know?
Makes sense.
There's I always wonder in my head, like fucking
But who cares? An orientation is just a made up word as well.
like the royals, like
Frankfurt's
King Leopold, the old King James, and all those dudes. Were they literally like, oh yo, party tonight? Let's go round up some kids,
Dude,
kill them, and fuck
okay,
them. Like, is that what the
Okay,
royals
number
have been
one,
doing forever?
First of all, the party tonight where you and the dudes just fucking bang sticks all night together, that's just good breeding and going to really important schools. All the frat hazing things that are trickled down to the poor people from
Yeah.
the original
Oh
shit.
man, that's very spooky. Fuck, that's fucking my head up right now.
Did somebody do something to your butt at college?
Never went.
No, never went.
Pine
It just
cone?
spooky. That shit scares me because I see that
Yeah,
shit.
why are there Greek
Yeah.
fraternities at all?
Well,
Okay, I'm not
yeah.
against
Billy
them.
used to look at this thing called Haze Him.
No, I never did. Dude.
It's
You
called
can relax. With that. That's
It's
just a
called
game porn site.
it's called trauma-based mind control. Okay, and no matter it's not like a comic book thing. It's how your life works. So you go in a thing. Hazing is that a trauma? So you're trauma bonding,
with
and then
dudes.
like when you
So
remember you
Skull
hear
and
about it in
Bones
the-
like go do gay shit and sit in coffins, bro.
yeah, and George W. Bush has a very good memory. And my girl who used to drink pointed out that's probably why he drank a lot because he didn't want to remember his.
Hell yeah, dude.
I think Dick Cheney hunted him through the woods naked as a boy. Okay, like he was Ice-T and surviving.
That's his daddy.
The most dangerous, surviving the game with fucking he would, and like they think it's real. It's not. Like just pepper him a little bit, Dick.
Same with the buck.
Toughen him up. George H.W. is a piece of shit. That's one crime family that's been around forever.
Prescott had fucking whose bones?
Well, they say
Geronimo.
Geronimo.
they
yeah.
say
I didn't know
that
it was him. I thought it was his dad or something.
they say Barbara was Aleister Crowley's daughter.
I say that
Yeah.
a
Are you
lot.
serious?
Barbara.
Hey, if I'm wrong,
Barbara,
I'll apologize.
Yeah.
dude, if you
fuck
see
it.
that, it's the likenesses.
It looks the same.
Okay, here's how similar they look, and I don't know if for all you Daily Wire fans out there.
Drinking leftist tears.
Hey, put down your cup of leftist tears so you don't choke to death when I tell you. Here's why Brett Cooper left the Daily Wire. Ben Shapiro is tired of dressing up as his Brett Cooper character and drilling in his fake tits. They're not even related. They're not. I thought that was his sister.
Might have been a clone, dude.
They're close.
And they're smiling. They took a picture smiling together. Like, just don't.
I fucking hate that.
Because I know it's fake immediately, because you're the same.
But what about the Barbara Bush?
She looks like she's Aleister Crowley's daughter. That's what they say.
Holy fuck.
And then there's something about the skull where
Well,
it's
here's
like,
why. Because, Crowley in Italy, when he got, this is after he did the Boleskine house. That,
Boleskine house, yeah.
Jimmy
I-
Page
yeah.
bought it from him.
Dude, I like people like, that's probably where UFOs came, because he was in there.
Doing
Yeah, he half cast
seances.
the spell,
And
yeah.
he forgot to close. Do you think that's what it was? It
Yeah.
was this jerk off? Let me ask you, I mean, for real, you don't think something like
He
atomic explosion is the first time?
Yeah.
He was
Might
playing.
count more towards that than some British half a fucking.
He was doing some weird stuff with kids, and he had a busted grimoire, and he never shut the door. He never fucking fully summoned the demon.
That's what they said happened
Yeah.
at Boleskine House, and Jimmy Page bought it and got rid of it after 2 years because he said there was bad vibes.
Yeah, well, if you're always on drugs in a fucking shitty house with
Castle.
with some rich sexual deviant shit and blood all over.
So if you had to imagine, it's like, so there's royals, and they've been doing this demonic shit, and then it's like trickled down, and then it's like politicians, and then it's like Hollywood, like.
Yeah,
like, it's
obviously.
just trickling
a pyramid,
down.
if you will. Oh,
Yeah.
their favorite thing in the world.
Yeah.
Why the fuck is everything a pyramid? That's our national scheme of America, is a pyramid, right? That's why we need to flood illegals in here, because they prop up our Herbalife pyramid, right? From south of the border. Who sells that Herbalife? You know who does it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
Hot
And
Mexican girls.
The Hispanics that used to manage Radio Shack before it went down.
My
Now,
thing-
what do they got? Herbalife.
Yeah. Now they all lost 15 pounds and still look exactly the same.
Yeah. It turned out there was not a neck under all that mass.
They do look like they grew out of the ground.
Well,
The OG Mexicans.
but see, it's like 40.
They're like the little round
Dude,
cactuses.
Mexican is not it's just like 40 ethnicities in
I know.
Mexico. I didn't know that.
It was crazy. First time I went there and saw like a normal proportion Mexican, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, like Canelo
But dude,
Alvarez.
you're watching like, I guess the indigenous people, they ran the hell out of
Yeah.
Mexico. That's who shows up on the East Coast.
They're Aborigines.
But if you go to West Coast, it's very different, the politics of it. And it's because when they started busing, it's like LA is designed to be segregated, like
Yeah.
their prisons. And so when they started doing integration, they started busing black kids to Mexican schools and reclassified Mexicans as white.
Oh.
Very similar to Belgium and the Congo and all that. Well, the dynamite thing pretty much applies everywhere. But
Yeah.
so that's why to this day, the Southern Mexicans gang, the Sureño, and the Northern Mexicans, I was told point blank why they don't get along, which was not on the Gangland History Channel show. The Norteños hang out with blacks,
Yeah.
and that's no go.
Yep.
It doesn't go out in the shows about it, but it's just that.
Yeah,
it's
they're,
literally just that.
they're with the blacks. Serenos are with the whites.
I want to that I was
Shout
talking
out
about,
to my Serenos from your white homeboy.
Did you ever get into this? Did you ever get into this shit? J.P. Morgan paid $75,000 to this guy Edward Curtis to take pictures of the Native Americans. So all the pictures that you see of the black and white Native Americans wearing like headdresses, it's all bullshit. They were wearing regular clothes like we were, but they made them dress up like that to be like.
Okay, let me just ask: did they bring? But because I assume if that long ago, they still like for ceremonies have their shit. That like, could you put your getup on, right? Or did he bring the costume and say, "Put on this costume"? They're like, "I'm not this type of Indian. I'm like a wholly different."
So like, dude, I'll try to show it to you like this.
That sounds like one of, by the way, the nicest
So
things
like
he's ever
this
done.
one,
For real.
This one was 7 years before this one.
But did this guy? Is this his from home?
That's his jam from home, but they weren't
Okay.
wearing it for like a couple hundred years or something like that.
That just actually sounds like something good that
Yeah, they were-
fat-nosed motherfucker did one time.
They were trying to do like a thing where it was like we got to save their culture, but what it did was like it made Americans be like they're not like us.
Yeah, not even close.
We can totally put them on reservations.
You know, I bet they would have done all the stuff now is the same stuff everywhere. Like wherever you're living, there's something under that ground we want, and
Oh yeah,
it's almost immaterial what anybody did because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's about getting the shit out of the ground that you live on top of, and I need you the fuck out of there.
That Asheville shit's crazy with the lithium.
yeah.
Yeah, and so like if you still think any of these things are like freedom or fucking whatever dumb shit you think, they're all manufactured horse shit to go take the thing that your house might happen to be built on that I want.
Right.
That's it. There's no other reason. There's not freedom. If you still think that you're a chump, if you still think that you are a chump.
Property tax is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Owning the crib outright.
How do we tax people that don't even live here is my question. We go and find a reason that they need some freedom or whatever are the girls going to school enough?
Yeah.
You're weird goat herding 3 people and you still fuck boys like it's Alexander the Great times? Are the girls going to school? I don't give a fuck if those girls go. I don't give a shit if Greta Thunberg goes to school. The fuck I care about Malula?
Dude, they don't even read.
Save it.
Yeah, true.
What
was the stuff you were getting? You were telling me about the trauma-based mind. Spade skipped the snip, not to dox him, but he skipped the snip, so he didn't get that mind control. But we were talking in the green room the one night about how they do it.
I found that out from the UFO shit. So in the UFO shit I was looking into, that put me on this, babbling madness. Yeah. Everybody fucking acts like it's too much. I think it's just fun. There's this bizarre overlap with Satanism. And that's how I found Mark Passio's videos.
Beast.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like,
The natural law.
Because you go far enough into alien horse shit, and I don't know, it becomes like, wait a minute, is there an entire Star Trek going on behind our backs?
Yeah.
You're telling me they're having fucking Star Trek adventures and shit that are a little more Star Wars than Star Trek, according to the leaked, whatever.
The whistleblowers.
I mean, first of all, that sounds so like how it would be.
Yeah.
That sounds exactly like how it would go down. It was like, we made a whole Star Trek without you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, and so then I'm like, oh, that's hilarious. That's what that as above, so below horse shit is. I'll bet it's the same horse shit the further you go out into space. Okay? And then another great part of that was the Nazis actually won World War II for the most part because they had that shit first.
And they're inside the Earth.
There's some movie that came out all about this, along like
really?
Nazis on the Moon movie.
Yeah.
Iron Sky, that I guess dealt with all of this.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
So that's some guy who was like read this story first before I ever heard of it, and made that movie. So then those Nazis have their own planet, and there's this guy Daryl James. You should watch him. Now most secret space program shit sounds just like bullshit. I mean,
sounds like movies.
Well, that's the thing. So Daryl James's does kind of, because all movies but his was so bizarre. Like the same with Charles Hall's a guy who, let's say, didn't meet the tall whites. He's on a weather balloon base in Dreamland, it's called. He's the only guy working out there.
Sure.
And he's a nuclear physics guy. He's probably very intelligent, even though he's like, well, I don't know. So that means you're bored all day and you're creative. What would you do? You'd probably make up some
Saw an alien.
I know a lot of military people are like ex-vets. They all love comic books. They all fucking love them. When I play online games, I remember when I'd be like in I used to play DC Universe Online on PlayStation, okay? which is great. You like form a super. You like, and there's
You
a
make
villain.
your own hero?
There's a villain side, so you could fight the villain PvP. Yeah, and it was not like it was like action. It wasn't like a clicky kind of.
Yeah.
And invariably the team up, it would be like us with all these vets and drug dealers and me, because I don't have a day job either. You know, so it's all got that, or like a truck driver who's on disability, and then you form, and then you get in these fights where then it always degenerates into teabagging each other.
Yeah.
Over like some boots they were fighting about. It doesn't take long for it to turn real secret society gay.
Yeah.
Cherry Marines.
Yeah. It don't take long to turn Cherry Marine. That's a fact. And so that's what that Cherry Marines thing is about. These that's a sign of class, is to get jagged up your asshole in school by an older boy.
I always forget that lady's name. Who has
A
that
real
long
Spartan,
video.
like a Menendez brother. Toughens you right up. Makes you cold and hard. You can kill your mom.
Those boys are
those
out of
fuckers.
pocket.
I think those guys, I watch everything, dude. And I watch a bunch of guys that got freed from the Trump Act or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
So people went to prison with them, gangsters. They got nothing bad to say. And these guys talk bad about each other, everybody.
Nothing bad to say about the Menendez?
There he goes, that guy helped me out. He taught me how to do a business. They would like.
Franchisee?
No, not Franchese. Black guys.
Oh, okay.
No, Franchese's, you got to see. I saw him say that, I don't know, Epstein might have just killed himself because, that's a bad. No, he's right. Those are bad charges. But Jared from Subway is still alive, so I think a guy richer than that's going to be fine.
Yeah.
And I think that's how I took that was because he's a businessman, clearly, and he already ran a scam, you know that. I'm sure he believes in Jesus, and he's very happy.
Yeah.
Okay? But the mind of...
That dude.
Where what's the smart play to do? Not piss off the government after I got out.
Who, Francesi?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a guy who's shy about the government.
He's trying to get ad money.
He's talking about
Trying to get better help on
he had
YouTube.
a
But he
dude
can
on,
get fucked with. Let's say he says some wrong shit after the time he did. I would be like, no, it's probably how they said.
Yeah.
You know?
That's exactly what
he
happened.
had a dude on some bodyguard that was going to Diddy parties talking about how they were doing what's it called, scopolamine.
They
It's
call
like-
me CC? Scopolamine. I've been wondering
They do this-
why I haven't heard of that more.
They do this devil's breath thing and you just disappear.
The chicks in Colombia put on their nipples, and then you are in a hypnotic state.
They take you to the ATM.
Yeah.
No more
And
money.
then you come to and don't remember shit.
That shit's scary. Datura's not cool, dude.
It's not Datura.
It's not?
Scopolamine.
It's another thing called scopolamine. But
Oh,
they
I
call
thought
it
that
devil's
had
breath.
that Datura seeds in it.
I don't know, dude. I'll look it up.
Datura seeds would not put you out in a calm. Datura is like madness.
Yeah, Datura's
Don't
scary.
ever do that.
No. I see trip reports of that. Like, why did you do this? It just induces schizophrenia.
How bad are you being molested that you said, I'm going to try this? That's the
It's all like
Benadryl?
Russians and shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, dude, people have some gnarly backgrounds. So if you're the scumbag intel agencies of this fucking Freemasonic devil country, the land of the plumed serpent,
Yes.
Amaru, America. It's not from Amerigo Vespucci.
nah.
He changed his name to reflect the winged serpent of America.
Is that the same as Quetzalcoatl?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chupa chupa.
Hey, I remember this dumb shit when I was a kid. That people go, we're in the South. So I was Jehovah's Witness, and then everybody was like a Pentecostal or something.
You were a
know?
Jehovah's Witness?
Yeah, most of my life.
Holy shit, I didn't know that.
So I was 20. Not most. Actually, now less.
Put in work?
Knocking on doors, yes.
Flip anyone or no?
No, I didn't flip anyone.
Damn. My grandma used to invite him in and talk to him about God for 3 hours.
Dude, there's a.
We do it, yeah.
they do it. They come around my house. The place is right around the corner.
By the way, there are
kingdom's right
probably
around the corner.
more Jehovah's Witnesses than there's ever been, I'm sure. It's probably a good sell right about now.
Damn.
What,
You know
what
it is.
is what is it? What do they believe in?
It's just like every other fucking Christian that came out of America kind of thing in the same time in Albany.
Like Quakers or?
No, Quakers are older. And Quakers
Oh, okay.
Quakers are weird.
Quakers are very weird. And
They're also in my neighborhood.
dude, people don't
Yeah.
know Amish, the fucking dark ass
We're
child
close.
trafficking side of Amish.
We're close, dude.
He loves Amish.
I'm up in
but dude,
Lancaster.
there are anything that's closed off. Here's what that movie, Women Talking. Now I know we didn't see it. It's a bad title.
I'll look it up. Hold on.
Women Talking. I remember being like, who
Missed
came
it.
up with the worst idea to type? Not even women want to see that.
Yeah.
Like, women talking, I could do that for free.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a good one.
I mean, the story is very interesting. Way to kill a very interesting story.
Ooh, I love Rooney Mara.
So it's some Mennonites that are down in Brazil, South America,
Yeah,
like
they're
Jim
down
Jones.
there. Yeah.
And so I guess the men,
The Nazis are down there.
They're like the
Started-
big German ones.
well, men started gassing the women at night, putting a thing in their window
Prank
and
of the
gassing
century.
them. Well, then they'd rape them.
Part of the prank.
Yeah, they got him good. Well, no, wait. Let me finish the prank. Hold on.
Okay.
Hey, hear the whole prank out. Then they would say, "Oh, you must have been attacked by a demon in the night." Almost sounds very similar to a UFO thing, don't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, aliens must have come in. So
Anal
there
probe.
starts to be real overlap. So the movie is just in the aftermath of this attack. It's just the women talking about how bad the men are in a fucking barn. And by the way, I'm sure they didn't interview any member of this religion or any of the women. It's clearly written in the voice of one dingbat lesbian feminist who profoundly does not understand belief systems. If you've never been in a cult, you don't get it, bitch.
Yeah.
There it is. Kurt, it's 80% on Rotten Tomatoes, dude. I don't know what you're talking
Watch your
about.
mouth. 90% from the rock.
I think that's about how heavy the flow is. 80% flow is what they meant by that. But it's a very interesting story. I only know because I looked up because who would make this?
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, that could have been done so much better by a man.
Everything.
Oh my God, a man who knows what the interesting points of the story are and can relate them to other seemingly unrelated things, the way men are the best at.
Yes. That's what we do.
That's not, men are not the best at it, I have to say.
Pretty good.
Well, here's one. My
See
girl,
True Detective season 4?
Oh, that hurt.
That was pretty fucking
who
bad.
wrote it?
Chicks.
Well, I hope. Do you think it might have been an overly, not a deserving gay guy who came up the hard way gay? One of these dudes that are chicks.
Yeah.
They're just-
Transsexuals.
I tried to watch Joker, the new Joker last night. I couldn't do it, man. Then the other
Did
worst.
you get to where he gets raped in prison by the guards? Stick?
I made it so where they broke out of prison, him and Lady Gaga broke out of prison and were singing in the street. I was like, yo, I'm out on this one,
That's
man.
crazy.
But
It's crazy they thought that would work.
And then the
he
other.
didn't think it would work. That was on purpose to not work.
The other
he didn't
one-
want to make it.
What, do you need a loss?
Okay.
Wait, the guy from the
Yes. That
who didn't wanna
clearly
make it?
clearly trolling.
Todd Phillips or whatever didn't
So
want to-
Todd Phillips didn't want to make it. They go, no, I made so much money. You got to make a sequel. And
So he just
and
torched it.
don't forget, he's a fucking Hollywood guy who got in big trouble for saying you can't be funny anymore and then they go, yeah, how dare you? And then by the way, they're mad if he makes something funny. So this is his big joke. And then the chuds, this imaginary group of guys that were going to take the Todd Phillips
smooth
Joker
brains.
wrong, and they were giving out warnings in the media oh, maybe don't see it. Someone might get killed. And I was like, is the studio paying you to do this? Like one of those,
I'm the Joker.
hype, you will have a heart attack in the seat.
Yeah.
Like looking back now, it seems like marketing, but at the time it seemed like a real attack. So I'm guessing Todd wasn't in on the marketing of it.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I want to show I'm not with these MAGA people. What with Kamala?
Yeah, sure.
Trump is still on the loose out there. Fucking retard. By the way,
Trump broke out of Arkham.
everybody I know that's a LA Democrat type,
You had to.
dear friends, they are the most know nothing. By the way, I don't want to give the impression I'm Republican. I don't believe in America.
I hear I'm unaffiliated as well.
I don't vote ever. I think it's the devil's country. Amaru.
Yeah.
And
So you're
I hope God does what it says in the Bible and ruins every government on the earth. Not like I'm holding my breath.
Yeah,
They
sure.
told me. They told me it looks like they're going to ruin themselves anyway.
So you didn't like when the Marvel team came up with a catchphrase for Kamala Harris? All the Avengers?
I played that for James McCann. The Australian
Catamaran
comic.
plan.
And James McCann was on my Derp with Gert podcast. And I played it for him, and it's just so clearly they had a script. And
There's
it's
guns to their heads.
Well, it's money.
Yeah.
It's money. Also,
dude-
many of them are monarchs.
But
Monarchs.
Butterfly.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing where you've been.
Downey Jr. got fucked up. Then they he was on drugs.
Put
and
him
they
back
put him
together,
away.
bro.
Who the fuck knows what happened?
Wait, what do you
with that
mean he was on drugs and they put him away?
Robert Downey Jr.
guy? Robert Downey Jr.
What? Not recently.
No, a long time ago.
Yeah, right. Well,
So then he came out and it was like, who was talking shit on him? Some dude on Rogan. Oh.
No.
Fucking the dude that knows all the new science with graphite.
The black dude.
black dude.
Hustle and Flow.
yeah.
What the fuck's his name?
Oh,
Terrence
yeah.
Howard.
Terrence Howard.
Now,
He
I
was
like
talking
Terrence
shit
Howard's math theories because
he was talking so much shit on Robert Downey Jr.
okay. So his whole big let me ask you this: his whole big math theory, Terrence Howard, is like
1 + 1 is not 2 or whatever.
Yeah, 1 + 1 is
no,
1.
1 times 1 is 1.
1 times 2
No,
is
1
1.
times 1 is 2.
Because everything is
Yeah.
1.
Yeah.
Okay.
No
so
doubt,
now,
brother.
Terrence, according to your own theory, which I subscribe to, I think is brilliant. Didn't you and Robert Downey make the same amount of money technically? Did anybody bring up his own amazing mathematics to him? Because he's complaining about it not being the case. Like,
but how do they just make a movie for like jokes with a huge budget like that and just fuck it like Joker? Like how do they just tank it? Like
the movie was such a hit that he could do whatever he fucking wanted, and he just kept putting gay horse shit that no one wants to see. So the studio was going, oh great, and the fans of Joker that we hate will hate it, which is like.
They've been doing that with Star Wars.
He's going above and beyond.
BTS, because I don't understand how
I promise the execs were like, this is great. Because the exec that would know how stupid that is and that they're being played has been fired. Probably on trumped up charges. Maybe not. They're scumbags, these people.
Yes.
And now it's a psychopath goop witch, a Gwyneth Paltrow style goop occultist.
Rubbing African
who's
blood
like,
on their face.
that's good. And then these incel? What the fuck is everybody talking about?
Dude, they hate that.
Stop making up these fake groups to belong to.
That shooter from Wisconsin was a chick.
Dude,
what are you talking about?
In a Satanist group, so allegedly. She was on some like, online weird satanic shit.
I watched a few things of it. You know, there's so many shootings, it's hard to kill.
It happened in Wisconsin the other day.
Oh, yeah.
But what, like, really, she held, at 15 years old, she held literally all the positions on things.
You don't
I'm trans and a racist, and I love the devil, and you people are bad.
Yeah. That was.
I don't believe none of that. Here's what I need to know. That school, because I was trying to find it, but I couldn't. Abundant Life Schools.
Yeah.
There's also Abundant Life Academy, which is a behavior modification school.
Weird, bro.
Well, when you hear the magic words behavior modification, you're looking at somebody that was in the program. If you were in Gifted and Talented or Gateway, that was a Pentagon-funded program, and that's where they got the kids they put in that. I was in that. I can't remember what in the fuck we did in it. I also think I failed a test, a specific test that I didn't fail. It was like some test that made me like luck out, maybe.
Yeah.
But you can find out from people that were in it the stuff they look for. It's like stuff, the things I would use to write jokes, like the ability to synthesize seemingly unrelated events is one. A lot of psychic kind of shit they look for. One guy, watch Imagination Podcast with my friend Emma. And this guy, the two guys to watch are Gray and Nathan Reynolds. And there's a girl too. There's one where all three of them are on. It's a girl from Texas. But if you think of all the fucked up rich kids you ever knew, and
he knows a lot of them.
I know a ton.
Dude,
I went to school in Delaware, so it was like all of that shit.
So,
all boys private school.
So Kathy O'Brien, for example, in her book,
Yeah, she's fucked up.
well, she's born into a family where the dad's a incest pedophile, and that's, in case you're wondering, most of the pedo stuff is family.
Ancestral, yeah.
My friend Barry Crimmins is dead now. He's in a documentary called Call Me Lucky, and he testified at Congress about AOL. AOL had a 3 strikes and you're out policy
For like cruising?
for child porn.
Yeah. Whoa.
They always put. Dude, they push.
Three?
And Barry goes, look, I like baseball as much as anyone, but
That's crazy.
okay.
They're always pushing boundaries, like with movies.
Well, this was because
Yeah.
it was very expensive, the internet. You would get by the minute. And so only people with money had it. So this is the beginning of the tech pedos and all the creeps. And if you already came from money, you probably came from a household where that's like a tradition that goes back a long time in your family, you know? Especially if you're in a, like, let's say you're Mormon and you're from a rich Mormon family. Now, Mormons, if you ever saw...
They have slaves.
Yeah, well, we all do. I bet it's America. They never got rid of that. All the prisoners are slaves. That's in the Constitution. Larry Bird used to brag. I mean, Senator Robert Byrd used to.
What the hell did he do?
He was owned by Larry Bird was owned by Robert Byrd, according to Robert Byrd.
The hick from Frank Gillette?
Yeah, he would. That was like a joke. If you get Kathy O'Brien's book's good because I always say skip the intro because it's her fucking.
I listen to her podcast.
So I did too, and I'd already heard a lot of these stories, but I avoided the book because I'm like, why do you know that they do this stuff? But I'm on a plane going to, I don't know, Eugene, Oregon, so I listened to Audible, and I was like, I just like, I mean, dude, fuck every motherfucker in this fucking government for that shit. And
Oh, yeah.
they're going to talk about UFOs
Yeah.
and all this other shit. yo, all these CIA guys that come on and talk about this or that, where I want to know about fucking Monarch, dude.
Yes.
You don't hear none of them say it. You only hear a few that have to that might get suppressed. So I already know there's something there. Plus, I know she testified before Congress and they classified a bunch of it for national security reasons. So guess what that means? Fucking guilty, motherfucker.
I think a lot of those Hollywood families are monarched.
Oh yeah.
Like
Without
their kids
a
just,
dude, there's
like
not a doubt in my mind.
Billy's like just watching Godfather, and I was like, wait till you get to Godfather 3 when there's like incest, and I'm like, that was a fucking wild thing that Francis
Ford fucking Coppola.
And he had this thing called Zoetrope where he was inviting kids from fucking LA to be working in a studio. I would never in my mind think of being like, I should get local kids in here to help me with my job.
Oh my God.
It's fucking nuts,
yeah,
dude.
okay. So, but you know about Jeepers Creepers and Clown House.
No.
So Coppola.
They love scary movies, though. Pedophiles. They
sure
love
do.
to scare the fucking little kids, dude.
Yes, they do. Yes,
And
they
me.
do.
Yeah.
And I like
He
to be
just made a
scared.
shit movie, He just made Megalopolis.
So I thought his dream was to
Fucking-
make Clown House 2. Okay, so Powder came out when I was in high school, and I remember the protest.
Oh, fucking Powder, dude.
What's Powder?
Powder's this weird movie about this kid. He's got like all this like electricity in him or something. He got struck by lightning in the womb and he gets born. It's a fucked up movie. But dude, for some reason, this fucking dude's like totally naked in it, and there's weird gay shit in it too.
Well, the same
Teenage
reason-
boys at a home.
Okay, the same reason as. So anyway, that director, he was went to prison. The first horror movie that what's his name funded, Francis Ford Coppola funded, was called Clown House. So the creator of Jeepers Creepers.
Look it up.
What's Jeepers Creepers fucking director's name? Victor Salva. Victor Salva was the director of Clown House, and it's also Sam Rockwell. I think his first movie. He's the middle child. The guy who played the youngest.
Justin Long's in it.
Yeah, the guy who played the youngest brother, Forrest something, or Nathan Forrest. I can't remember. Nathan Bedford Forrest. This is his name. Okay. He was molested by the guy made child porn of him, and so the parents pressed charges and they arrested Victor Salva with
This guy. Look at this dude.
You see how he's got? And dude, a lot of them got that chin. There's something about the pedophile
Yeah,
chin.
yeah.
The
The
mouth,
mouth.
the
We were
mouth
talking
too.
about it, yeah.
Walls and all that.
I mean, I don't mean to be a
mouth.
phrenologist,
Oh,
but I mean,
I'm not measuring heads, but hey.
I am measuring chin, mouths.
Oh,
and-
dude, it's in the Wikipedia.
Okay,
Convicted
so
of sexual misconduct.
so if you watch
Nathan Forrest Winters.
Nathan Forrest Winter. So if you watch him talking about it, this is what's insane.
His mentors, Francis Ford Coppola. Bro,
Yeah, you should. By the way, Jamie Deluxe. I always give him a shout because he has a lot of great stuff you forget about him. So Francis Ford. So he went to prison for this, and what they caught him with, he was selling child pornography. Like it's a massive ring he was running. It wasn't just he's bad. The guy's making kiddie porn, and he's being funded by Francis Ford Coppola. Okay,
Dude, there's a Jeepers Creepers 3.
yeah.
It just came out in 2017.
What the?
Yeah, what's the origin of the creeper? I wonder.
Holy shit.
So anyway, then Francis Ford Coppola sued the family of Nathan, the boy who got viciously sodomized
Little
by the
counter
director.
He was 12 and he forced Winters to perform oral sex on him.
Okay, so
And he
then,
made videotapes and magazines were found in his house.
yeah, so he was a major trafficking. Okay, the biggest one though ever in California state history is Isaac Asimov's kid. Is the biggest
Are
child
you
pornography.
serious?
Yeah.
Do you
and
know what
then-
it's
wait,
called?
wait, wait, this is the
Sci-fi
best
writer.
part. Then they were supposed to prosecute it, and then they kicked it to something at a later date, and then nothing ever came of it. And the guy who the district, the federal attorney who
Yeah.
did was Mueller from the Mueller report.
Oh.
And shortly after that, he became head of the FBI. So that was probably his payback for covering that up. As
Dude,
my
they
guess.
Gotta
That's
get
my
you,
guess.
They gotta put you back in the intelligence agencies, dude. Fucking
Dude,
figure
dude,
all this
Do you
shit
know
out.
what it's called when they get above a terabyte?
What?
A petabyte.
A petabyte. Yeah.
That's tough. I think
Well, what
it's
does
literally
PETA stand for?
no clue, dude.
Not pedo.
Petabyte. Yeah.
Okay, well that's different.
Close,
That's
though.
I mean,
Dude,
yeah, but
just
it's
think
not.
about this.
They
is
always have so
dude,
much.
Just think about if this was just totally like word association titles of movies this guy made. Something in the Basement, Clown House, The Nature of the Beast, Powder, Rites of Passage, Jeepers Creepers,
It's not getting good.
Peaceful Warrior, Rosewood Lane, Dark House. They're all fucking weird names.
This dude's
dude.
fucking
Well,
kids.
they might not have been like Wes Craven. If he had done that, then you go, oh, for Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh. But it is weird because
Powder, baby
Francis Ford Coppola not only made sure he got hired at Disney immediately after his prison term, so then he directed Powder for Disney right after that from raping that kid. Francis Ford Coppola
filmed it right here in Austin.
Yo,
holy shit!
Coppola sued the kid's family for fucking up the movie production, and then he was forced by the court to go do ADI or what do you call it? You know, pickups when you do voiceover. He had to do voiceover.
Yeah.
Is it ADI? It's 8.
Something like that.
It's been so long. I used to do it, but he had to go to Coppola's house and do the pickups by court order. Imagine that.
Dude,
So Coppola's a fucking piece of shit.
And dude, they're all related. It's Nick Cage, Jason Schwartzman, fucking Talia Shire. Like all these people are in one family. It's got to be mortified. I'd be mortified if I was Nicolas Cage and my cousin did this. I'd be like, you did what?
How would you know? You probably got your own shit to deal with.
Oh yeah.
The way these families work is
Ghost Rider.
if you're from like a Royale family, a Royale with cheese. If you're from one of them. It's like a mafia. You pick one member. See, the real currency is connections and secrets. That's the real currency. Money's like horseshit, and once you realize that, you can have a lot of it.
Francis Ford Coppola co-wrote Patton.
Really?
That's fucking weird.
Dude, the thing that's very funny is Lucas, who I believe is the guy who filmed the Altamont stabbing, and then it was him filming that. I'm almost positive. Could be wrong, but I think I'm right. Also, him and Spielberg. Spielberg's got a lot of dark shit about him.
No shit, dude.
Scumbag.
Okay, wait. Not only this, Spielberg and Lucas. You remember the article about them when they were arguing over Indy's character, and they were like, Miriam was 15 when he banged her in the original movie, right? So I was a child. You know, like all right, I guess it's the 40s and it's Harrison Ford, so it's cool. I guess so. Hey, I doubt Tibet has strong 15-year-old banging laws. Okay, it's another time. But initially, Lucas like, I think we should make it she was 11 to make it like really edgy.
Oh.
Well, so I thought the 15 was edgy. You're telling me you're edgy. George Lucas was 11.
Bro.
No, really edgy.
Francis Ford Coppola is the executive producer on George Lucas's first movie. What? Before Star Wars.
Yeah, they're all patriotic Americans, these guys that went off to, So
THX, that's a dystopian one where the dude from Godfather's got his head shaved. Richard, what's his name? Duvall.
Robert Duvall.
Robert Duvall. Yeah.
Yeah. This is
so Spielberg, one of the darkest because the Elon Musk brain chip that
Indiana Jones, the guy that hates the Nazis all the time.
Okay, this is one of my. You can find Jamie D-L-U-X. Jamie, and he finds like good, and a lot of it comes off of NT Lawyer, Crazy Days and Nights.
I don't know.
That's like a lot. It's like a Hollywood blind item gossip thing that's run by an entertainment lawyer.
Like Perez Hilton?
No, way better. Okay. A lot of shit has come out on it.
Okay.
And this is the thing. You got to listen to everybody because, like, this guy wouldn't take. I don't know, sometimes I'll hear the thing he's talking about, and he would not take it as far as I would. The conclusion he draws.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'm stunned by people that do that. There's people that go, okay, but that doesn't mean.
They go farther than
case
you.
closed.
Yeah.
I go, how is it possible? Well, okay, it's maybe crowd control is a better term than mind control. Maybe that sounds too comic booky. But just so you know, that's what they called it, the people in power that did this shit. Yeah. And they found generationally abused families because they're the best for dissociating. So if you ever worked in a bougie office setting where there are girls that talked about they were cringing at something and they go, my soul left my body.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard that in TV for 20 years. I've heard that a lot.
When someone wears mismatched socks.
My soul actually left my body. I've heard that so much. Yeah. Okay. Now, psychologically speaking, there's a reason someone's saying that because they are so uncomfortable. They are disassociating from the situation.
Yeah.
So a mark of good breeding is your ability to blank out like the friends of Tim Duncan when he's fucking rubbing the back of my neck and ask me how much money I make a year.
He's looking for
they all dissociate. They're like, oh, Tim's gay, and we all pretend he's not gay. And they just stare ahead.
There's a crazy thing in
how big was his hand?
But you see, that's mind control. Oh, dude, he can palm my entire shoulder span.
Oh my!
Without a doubt. And he's kind of willowy, but you understand, this is a fucking...
It's a large man.
He's 7 foot,
There's a goddamn Nephilim sitting next to me.
Yeah.
And he even has like that Owen Benjamin gigantism head to a degree. Except he has like sweetie pie eyes, and I didn't realize.
Oh, sweet face. Yeah, look at him.
He's like, because dude, I made the mistake. But again, I don't blame Tim Duncan. I rub it in my girlfriend's
6'11",
face.
bro.
Yeah. I go, he wanted me,
options.
bitch, not you.
You got options.
I could go call him tomorrow, bitch. That's how I talk to her.
Dude,
now trad me up some breakfast. I scream.
Did you ever see the behind the scenes of making Bram Stoker's Dracula with Francis Ford Coppola and all them? He got a thing for Keanu Reeves, like a warehouse, and Anthony Hopkins was in it, and Winona Ryder's in it, and Anthony Hopkins, like, they rewrote a scene so he could smell her because he thought it was sexual. He thought his role as Van Helsing was sexual.
It is.
It's fucking hilarious, dude.
But, by the way, it is. The whole thing is a sexual. The whole Dracula,
Oh, yeah.
That's it. And Ed Wood, Bela Lugosi explains it. The blood. If you want to get lucky, you're the blood.
That is a really old story that kind of makes sense.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
if you're okay, look. Number one, if you just I want to make sure people understand I'm not fantastical here. If you just take your child to an audition, you trafficked your fucking kids.
Oh my God.
You fucking imbecile.
That you should watch the Nickelodeon shit.
Yeah. Does anybody notice that? My joke up on stage is I ask if people saw that, and I go, I haven't because I'm backed up on molester documentaries.
Yeah.
There's too much great true crime molester content to go through. I don't have time.
Yeah.
I'm stuck on Jared to Catch a Subway. I don't have time.
That was crazy.
Thanks for stretching it out to 14 episodes like you're fucking Ken Burns. Nothing gross about that.
I just don't the fire that's inside of you to finally at one point just lean over to someone and just go, fuck, dude. 9-year-olds with pigtails are so fucking hot. The kettle's got to be
Okay, I believe that Jared's guilty. His friend from the area who talks about, I believe me, they didn't know.
Yeah.
You can find, Jared's friend, it's very interesting hearing him talk about it. The thing that's gross about that documentary, even though Jared is definitely guilty,
Yeah, sure.
that fat chick that inserted herself into the thing.
Oh my God, that was crazy.
I don't trust a word she said about anything, even though she recorded him, so I'll trust a recording that Jared said stuff. But she's about as trustworthy as Mel Gibson's Russian ex.
Oh, yeah.
You make me want to smoke.
That
He
cut.
gave her an
Yeah.
yeah, his tits.
And also, now Mel was yelling that shit at her. Like, he left his wife, right? Because he didn't feel a spiritual connection. I'm making air quotes for
Happens
the
everywhere.
audio listeners of this non-video podcast. And he thought this dumb Russian bitch was fake fucking... You look like a trans hooker with your lips, by the way, sweetie.
He
he
hoped
left
that
his
she
wife.
got raped by a pack of blacks.
That's how it happens. A pack. Yeah. A full pack. Like that girl. Did you see a girl, an OnlyFans girl in England?
Dude, fuck that shit.
Okay, this is what's so
The
hilarious.
100 guys girl.
We already had the world's biggest gangbang when I was in college.
That shit happened so
Houston
many times.
500, bro.
Dude,
What?
And there was a bigger one. There was one with like 1,000. A chick did like 1,000.
Well, Annabelle Chong, something Chong?
I'll take your
They
word
made a
for it.
documentary about her doing the world's biggest gangbang. And she had been gang raped outside a bar in England.
On purpose?
And then she later made this she got into porn later.
Yeah.
So what happens is someone's been traumatized, and now you're taking control of your trauma, right? So that's why, when you hear like somebody complain like hot chicks that always date losers, right?
Yeah.
Like, do you understand they probably got molested?
Yes.
Well, they think I'm a nice guy. And yes, someone raped them, and now
That's why I'm like, what?
and someone raped them, and that's why they associate it with and so this is how the trauma works from mind control. And I've seen this over and over. What chick where it's like she doesn't have kids, but she's a single mom of like a 6-year-old who was molested, who's her.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So it happens naturally to people. And some people do it better than others, like split better than others. And a lot of them are rich and they've been inbred to be that way. I don't remember the Aristocrats, that stupid joke.
You were telling me about their form of circumcision that they do in like the
I
Arden,
just
Delaware.
put this together because of Hans Kim.
Okay.
Okay, because I was like, nobody knows why circumcision would be like no one can really explain it.
Can't.
There's a lot. I mean, I've heard a lot of explanations, but they all everyone qualifies. Like no one really knows why, but we think it might be blah blah. It's your turtleneck dick smells bad. Plausible. But then I realized after you hear about from Jay Parker, right, where the baby, like say a fetus gets struck by lightning, like powder.
Yeah.
They try to traumatize the fetus. Remember they played Beethoven in the womb?
Yeah.
Well, these motherfuckers will try to traumatize the baby in the womb because in their above Scientology level cult, they believe it toughens their kid up. Do you understand?
What do they play?
To make you Dude, they'll stick like I don't want to say it on your thing.
I don't give a fuck.
Stick a pencil up a baby's asshole.
Yeah, it's fucked
The
up.
second it's born. Yeah, dude, I don't want to say it.
What about in
That's
the
why
fetus,
it's a good
though?
way to control shit because I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
That's like a safe.
Yeah.
The shame and
People
shit.
don't
of
want
that,
to even think about that
dude,
shit.
hide your info in a shame safe, which
Bro.
could be a child.
Do you know a lot of Scientologists?
A couple.
Weird. I've never met one.
My guitar teacher's a Scientologist.
Yeah.
I thought of a riff.
I want to chill with them.
But I realized what that is. That like I don't want to say the baby thing again.
Yeah,
you heard
sure.
it. That's an inversion of a circumcision. Okay, so basically a circumcision, your baby, right? And they snip this off of you, which is painful.
Sure.
But you don't remember it. Hopefully, I don't.
You definitely remember everything, though.
Okay, the hidden observer in there remembers all. Of course, there's an
Keeps the
ultimate.
score.
So there's the trauma. So that is to control your fucking dick. And growing up real Christian, I've had where, and it's completely psychological. Like if I was like, I've had like guilty dick where I'm like, I'm not supposed to do this, and I cannot get hard because I'm guilty.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and I always wonder what that is. Well, you got circumcised for that's a basis. You're controlling your population's breeding. It's like boot camp for your dick immediately. You understand?
Dude.
So that's controlling the population right
Yeah.
there. Now, the inverse of that is, I don't mean you pacifier, you get the fuck.
Yeah, sure.
That's to make you, instead of making you a little bit hesitant to be a fucking whore, that's to make you into a whore. You see?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it starts young.
I'm confused. So what makes you a whore? The pacifier?
No,
They make
I'm
you
getting
crave
they put their
oral
fucking
fixation.
dicks in a baby's fucking mouth like a pacifier.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it.
Hey, it's
Oh
hard.
my God, I don't want to say. This is why I didn't read Kathy's
can't-
book for a long time.
Yeah.
Because I don't want, and that's what happened to her. And I already know that's real. Big J's ex-caller was a lawyer. She worked on a case for one of these fucks.
Oh.
The shit that these motherfuckers do is so crazy. And this guy couldn't see what the problem was.
You think they walk around seeing each other kind of like, what's up, dude?
Yeah,
Like,
they
you know what
definitely
the
got
deal
like
is.
looks and shit
You know?
they're giving each other.
You ever see that doctor, the guy who taught us about prions from cannibalism, who is a vicious pedophile?
Like during the COVID thing?
No, years ago. I think he came up, dude. He is such a creep, this fucking doctor. And he's talking about, yeah, the kids jump in my bed. I would have done the same at their age.
Oh my god.
You ever seen that footage? It's
No, I'm gonna look it up.
fucking batshit. Okay? And this is Arthur C. Clarke.
Oh, yo, he's fucking
Google,
bad.
he
dude.
predicted AI. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
He is a visionary who predicted AI.
That's what Space Oddity is based on.
Really?
Arthur C. Clarke's book, and
He
he
ended
went.
up in Thailand because he's kind of banished for all his pederasty.
They have like a resort where they play ping pong with little boys, and
Like
they all
Comet
get
ping
little.
pong.
They get little fucking 14-year-old boys to hang out with.
Yeah, is that where those memes came from with Comet Ping Pong Pizza? Like, dude, this is what they do in Thailand.
Yo,
man.
Andrew Breitbart. Now, I wasn't a fan of him, or I didn't really know shit about him. I did Red Eye probably around that time when he died.
Yeah.
But I'm listening to the thing about, and I hear a clip of him joking with Gutfeld on Red Eye about ping pong and the Clintons. And he used to tweet John Podesta is the biggest child
yeah.
trafficker.
Yeah, you'll
I didn't
see,
know
yeah.
at the time. Didn't know anything about it. I go, Greg, that's real? He goes, oh yeah. I'm like, well, good work talking about it a lot and getting it out there. I guess keep your job. I like Greg, but the way that, like,
Who's
I
Greg?
genuinely like Greg.
Gutfeld?
Greg, but understand
Oh, yeah.
the way these people think when you're in the thing.
Oh yeah.
That's why it's a miracle how Tucker turned, because was born balls deep in the thing.
Yeah.
He's powerful, bro. I saw him speak, and he had a whole crowd. Like, he's powerful. He could be president. He's powerful, bro.
But I haven't talked to him yet, but I want to, because you got to understand there's a lot of people getting put on that are left. So the kid that shot Trump, his dad, by the way, was in behavior modification.
The one in PA.
The one where they cleaned out the house and they
Yeah.
whatever. So
He went to Walmart and like went shopping.
What?
Dude, like right at it was weird. Somebody did a report on it where it was like after his kid shot him, he like was just being normal as fuck, like nothing happened. Went to Walmart, just went shopping.
yeah,
was
that's
like,
monarch. They
That's
can
a
put your,
disassociator right there.
Yeah.
That's so the possibilities of what you can do with that are really incredible.
Yeah.
But the thing is, so all the super soldier crap you see, they do that like Bourne Identity. However, they're leaving out some parts of how it's done.
That's not how you make Jason
You know,
Bourne.
kind of like 300, they don't really tell you how the Spartans were so sparted so hard. Then you find out the Menendez brothers found out. They're not as big of fans as 300 because their dad was about being a Spartan.
I'm Sparting.
Yeah. And it's trauma bonds. You form a trauma bond with your handler or your rapist.
Jesus.
I think of like when they're watching the Menendez brothers like Netflix thing, they're getting off on like their secret kind of being played with out in the
I
public.
realized
you
this
know what
talking
I mean?
to my friend who was like from a named fan, but all her stories are so fucking batshit about like wealthy. I'm not saying money, but I'll tell you, they're fucking crazy. And one, they're all these kids are on like fucking Lexapro and shit.
Yeah,
they're all
right.
on shit.
So that's how. So and why are you taking that? That's so you can sit there and pretend these horrific things are fine.
Yeah.
So you can go, this is fine.
Especially for a little kid to be on that stuff. Like, you can't even comprehend the world that much.
Dude, or
when you're depressed.
speed.
Yeah.
Or they put them on speed.
Meth.
Dude, the dog meme where it's like, this is fine.
Everything's fine. Yeah.
That should be an ad for Lexapro.
Did Billy tell
This
you?
is fine.
Did Billy tell you his mom used to work at the DuPont place?
Yeah. My mom used to work at
Did you
Fox.
see any like what do you call it? Chimeras?
No, dude, but she said he would. That is it John, the one that
Yeah,
got,
John
who
DuPont,
got killed
yeah.
or whatever, or killed someone?
You saw what Jay Parker said about him.
What?
His mom helped program John DuPont.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they put and
John
they
DuPont was a maniac.
That's who my mom
bro.
worked for.
So I knew he had no balls, and he supposedly lost him in a horse riding accident, but there's no telling. But the mom,
John DuPont?
yeah, he had no
Yeah,
balls.
Holy shit, I didn't know he was a eunuch.
So the
He loved wrestling.
the other members of the family, and I believe Jay. I'll tell you why. Another members of the family wanted his inheritance.
Oh.
Okay, so
was he like a fucking like retard or something?
he
was
got
mind controlled,
programmed.
man.
Corrupted file, as you
Yeah.
said.
He said my mom used a high speed hand spinner to hypnotize, and I go, what the? And I asked Passio,
Yeah, fidget spinners, bro.
Oh shit,
yo, yes.
that's weird.
But they had the joke, like the one you'd see as a joke in a John Waters movie, the spinny.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They had a thing that did that they look. Think of Get Out, where
Yeah.
she does it with a teacup, to plant a thing in him to go off in some way later, with
Whenever they want.
And then they took his money. Now, I think the side of the family, but I haven't been able to connect it yet. But I'll bet how much you want to bet.
Yeah, sure.
Bo Biden, Joe Biden's son, who was the good one, who
Good
busted.
enough.
No, he busted the largest pedophile in American history, some doctor, who was then released by a judge because the judge said he'd have a hard time in prison. Okay?
I love when they do that.
I'm sorry, no. The doctor he busted, no, the guy who got off was a DuPont who had raped both his own children.
Yes, yes.
And Bo Biden, now imagine Joe Biden from Arden, Delaware, who Jay Parker's brother said that guy's going to go far. So that means Joe Biden's down for whatever.
Worst of the worst.
That means and he says this openly, I'm a whore.
Yeah, I saw this.
Okay? So he went, they're like, what do you want me to do? Drink some blood? Fuck you. Okay. I'm here to be a success.
I think he sacrificed his first wife.
I think he sacrificed his son, Bo Biden, the good one.
Yeah.
Because
Yo.
he tells a story that it was probably from Iraq, and it was not.
Oh, yeah.
He gets a sudden brain tumor. The way Dunnigan's dad got a sudden brain tumor after he won the lawsuit in the fucking Round Brown DNC plane crash, the real suspicious one, Kyle's dad was the fucking lawyer.
Kyle Dunnigan?
Yeah. What? And he told me this story. We're getting food one day. And I was like, I remember that Ron Brown because we had Ann Coulter on Race Wars. Sherrod knew her and brought her on. And she had been in trouble. No, this is pre 9/11, so I didn't know her then. But she was in trouble in the meeting for saying, I'm glad Ron Brown's dead. You know.
Yeah.
But the Clintons killed him, I think, 100%. They put so many valuable people on one plane. That's not supposed to happen.
Ever.
The entire Ways and Means Committee. Okay?
Dude.
Then the guy in the control booth is found hung and shot. And he hung himself and shot himself in the chest, poor bastard.
Quick draw.
And it was a golden goose for lawyers. Because so many important people, this is what Kyle told me. And then we had Whitney Webb on telling this part. And I go, oh my God. And Kyle would always freak out about getting cancer because his dad gets this money. And then a month later, he's got an inoperable brain tumor. And at the time, I was like, well, how the hell will they give you a brain tumor? I'm an idiot. All they got to do is give you the whatever the shit is, and all kinds of magical effects will happen to you, like polonium or the stuff that they say Putin used on the other guy.
Yeah.
You think we don't do that? And you don't think they wouldn't clean? And poisons are the specialty of this cult.
Poison?
The Scientology, the old, oh, by the way, it's called the old religion. Passio will tell you.
Yeah.
They all call it the old religion. and because it encompasses a lot. So why do we have an Olympics, for example? I always wonder, since this is a Judeo-Christian country. The fuck does that mean?
That doesn't really mean what you think it means.
We're a Judeo-Christian country, and why are we still hearing about the Greek gods and goddesses? And even if you study, my girl used to work at Getty. She's a curator.
The Getty Museum.
Yeah, she has a degree in art history, and there's a battle. Oh, she has hilarious. Dude, the stories are hilarious.
We interviewed this guy, Stephen Kelly, that was like allegedly a psychic warrior against their psychic warriors.
Okay. I don't know who that guy is, but I will tell you, Nathan Reynolds, I urge you to look him up. He's on Tony Merkel's podcast, Confessional. And I talked to Nathan on the phone because I heard his story. And I was like, what? Fucking wild story, dude. And he's Reynolds' family. I bring him up a lot because I like him because, one, you could tell, when somebody went through some bad shit and they turned fucking wildly.
Escaping a bloodline Luciferian family, Nathan Reynolds.
That's not the same as Satanist, by the way. Satanist is the dumbest chump Hot Topic level. That's just you listening to Katy Perry.
Yeah.
Spencer Worker.
Listen to shit
Perry,
backwards.
The other one.
Katy Perry.
That's something different. That they're mangling a thing.
Bro, real quick. Joe Biden bought a fucking DuPont mansion in the mid-'70s, and he nicknamed it the Station.
Yeah. That was in the
Hunter
Biden's laptop.
Hunter has the Finger Lakes tattooed on his back.
That shit's fucking weird.
The highest human trafficking place.
Yeah.
By the way, not the southern border. No.
They got a
Apparently, the
submarine
Great
base in
Lakes.
there.
So the reason he says, because on one of the Great Lakes, I don't remember which one, he would go to his grandparents. He had such a good time that he got all the Finger Lakes tattooed on his back, which makes sense. It's not fucking
Checks
weird.
out.
I don't know what people need stuck in their fucking face to know that the shit's for real, because if you think about it, every institution you've ever trusted or enjoyed is absolutely lousy with pedos.
Oh, yeah, dude.
It's one thing.
Name a
It's
thing
their
that's
Achilles heel,
pedo-free you've
dude.
ever heard of. A knitting club? No.
War Mode podcast.
There's not a single one.
Yeah.
Where do you go where it's not a vampiric kid fucking... never. No, I'm sorry.
The Olympics is bad with that because that Larry Nassar documentary that was on Netflix, that whole documentary happened. And it was
Well, he built champions. You got to give him that.
pelvic floor
Very
adjustments.
small champions.
But
Think of that. Traumatizing young girls to make them into super gymnasts.
But in
And
that,
he goes, I'm helping them.
I mean, that's like one of the Marvel chicks that Scarlett Johansson plays is that.
but at the end of that documentary, they're
Yeah.
like, we found it. It was Larry Nassar. This has nothing to do with the rest of the Olympic Committee. It's just this dude.
And the two FBI guys that covered it up because they're about to get a job at the Olympic Committee because they're in on the fucking net. Look, they're spying on it. Edward Snowden's hiding out in Russia because he revealed that they're spying on you 24 fucking hours a day.
Yeah.
Now, how the fuck is this even a problem still at all? If you're spying on everybody all the time, because you're going to leave the shit that's useful.
Yeah.
Because here's what's important to these cunts. There can be only one, like the Highlander. I just watched Condoleezza fuckhead Rice say this. Well, young people need to understand.
She's still around?
Yeah,
She's
that
still
should also make you suspicious that Dick Cheney's alive and this fucking hag's alive.
He had 4 hearts. I think he's on his 4th heart.
And his daughter has 3 stomachs.
They made a movie about the guy. They made a weird fucking movie about this dude that ended up giving Dick Cheney his heart. I can't remember the name of the movie.
Nuh-uh. Is it real?
No, it's like it's not a. I think it's real. It's fucking Vice.
They got like 4 documentaries coming out
Wait,
about
a guy, did you just tell me a guy donated his heart?
No, he did. He's a character in the movie. He like dies and his heart goes to Dick Cheney. I gotta remember what the movie is, dude.
You're losing some points in the afterlife with that one. Keeping that going. That Luigi dude is like 4 documentaries coming out about him.
New York radiation levels spike as Americans
this
told
fucking
prepare
shit.
for the worst. Now, I have a question about these drones.
I fucking hate him.
Now, I heard multiple things. They're looking for a loose nuke. I've heard it's a loose nuke from Ukraine, but I thought Ukraine gave up their nuke, so that doesn't add up. Also, okay, you don't want to panic people because there might be a loose nuke. For question 1, since when the fuck do you not want to panic people?
Yeah, for
I've
real.
been living here my whole life, and you love that shit.
They'll panic you over the weather.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna die if you have a leaf blower. Gardening causes heart attacks.
It's so similar to like the COVID shit, the way they're showing all these videos, and it's like,
Right.
radiation levels up. It's like, dude,
So here's my question for everybody. Okay, there's a broken arrow, as the John Woo film was taught us. Why are you sending out your your Christmas drones?
yeah. With your
I would
hazard
think a
lights.
thing that you don't want people to know about. You'd turn off your fucking festive lights on your on your spinny built to look like Ezekiel's wheel for some reason.
Bill's not having it for a second.
I don't believe in any of this shit at all.
It's a laser pointer, and you're a cat. This is what they think of you. You have the brain of a cat.
Yes.
And guess what? Statistically, you fucking do. And so then they take the pointer. And you gonna get that drone?
Yeah.
You go get it. Look at you, kitty. What the drone?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I like it. It seems like such a psyop. It's not even funny watching.
Why is that a thing? Why do we even have to sit here cooking up theories about what the fuck happened? I'm not getting any good answers. They don't want to panic people. No, you don't want people to get real mad and tear you apart like the end of Day of the Dead. And I want it to happen.
The general guy that always talks to the media goes, "We think it's China."
Yeah,
It's
he's
definitely
a fucking
China.
Cherry Marina, bitch.
It was China. It was a mothership from Iran.
yeah.
Remember the Chinese, the fucking, my favorite, the
They
fake
probably
ass
chucked up the
Chinese spy
Iran.
balloon?
Yeah.
Oh, that was great. Yeah.
Balloonuary 6 when China attacked us. Dude, I still watch like your supposedly independent Tim Pool media say,
Oh, yeah.
the Chinese spy, and such geniuses as Jeremy from the Quartering.
Jimmy Dore wasn't getting any of that Russian money, right?
No, but who yeah, no, I'm real mad they got Russian money. They should have been getting Israel money like good people.
Like
What
real.
the fuck is Israel?
Yeah.
Give me money, Russia. I was already
I said
saying
the
you're
same
right.
thing, dude.
Yeah.
Yo, for $3, I'll keep saying fuck Ukraine, motherfucker. I can't even say fuck Ukraine because guess what? America did fuck Ukraine.
Yeah, that was bad.
I can't even be mad at Ukraine. They're fucked.
It's got rubble eyes. Now it's real nice.
Gaza and Ukraine are doing about the fucking same.
Did you see they're already coming up with neighborhood names in Gaza?
Look, one of these stories that now I want to make
Dude,
it
an
clear.
F-22 shot down that Chinese spy balloon and it went into a lake, and then they were like, "We can't find it."
So here's the real story with
In the
that.
fucking lake.
We already showed the articles. The Pentagon also said it's probably not a spy balloon, but
Yeah.
that came out like once, and then these assholes keep saying spy balloon as their Mockingbird handlers tell their producer
They all
to
say
tell
the
another
same
guy
words.
to tell them.
Yeah.
They're not in on it. There's 4 layers of cutout of bullshit. All the news gets their stories from AP. Does like an auction in the morning.
Yeah, Reuters, AP, yeah.
So none of them are reporters. Not for a long, long time. It's obvious when you watch.
Yeah, right.
So that's why if you've ever been trapped on a tarmac watching CNN and you go, okay, I already know that so-and-so said this thing and blah, blah, it's bad. Like, you're going to repeat it all day? Yes.
24-hour news cycle, dude.
Democracy's on the ballot. Democracy's on the ballot. Democracy's on the ballot. Democracy's on the ballot. That guy with the split-colored hair that went to go shoot Trump over Ukraine, that's a monarch guy. I promise you.
Yeah. Big time.
And his trigger,
I read his book.
That's a trigger phrase. These phrases are triggers. They have these maniacs. There's probably about 5 billion of them. Okay, roaming around, and the women are supposed to die by age 30. The sex slaves are supposed to be burned out to the point of death by 30.
There's another movie. There's a 70s movie. What the fuck is it called? Logan's Run. And it's about that, where people just go on the carousel and they die when they're like 27.
Okay, the dudes. So now here's an eerie one. In Slovakia, I want to say, not Slovenia, it was Slovakia, I'm almost positive. The president was saying, I want to investigate Pfizer. You know, all these countries are the only ones looking into the odd parts of it.
Yeah.
And he had just got done talking about how everything about the Ukraine war is bull. By the way, I don't love Russia or give a fuck about Russia.
I'm with you.
I don't care about Putin. I don't care. Yo, he's not Thanos, motherfuckers. I grew up with Saddam Hussein, a guy who's interesting.
Yeah.
So they fucking
They never looked into his fucking trial either.
Saddam's?
dude,
They
I make
just
a
had
joke.
like a fucking weird, like a banana court or whatever they call it.
Banana Republic.
Like kangaroo court,
Yeah.
all that shit. They did that for him.
Well, that's what Momar or
Gaddafi, yeah.
Wait. So wait. I fucking lost my train of thought because I was thinking about sweet Momar.
Said he had a joke about Saddam Hussein.
Yeah.
Wait. Before that, we were just talking about it.
Thanos.
Oh, okay. So wait. The thing about. Okay. So we have this news story about the Slovakian president 2 in a row, and I go, "What? This guy's trying to get shot."
Yeah.
Okay. 3 months later, president of Slovakia shot by a 72-year-old man with no history of violence and blah. So that's a Sirhan.
Yeah.
In fact, if you look into it,
Palestinian Christian.
Control Alt History is a channel that I highly recommend.
What's it called?
Control Alt History. And it doesn't have a lot of views. And the info's fucking great.
Need
and
that.
So First of all, did you know Reagan had his own Epstein called Alfred Bloomingdale?
No.
Yeah, and the Vicky Morgan tapes when I was little, but it was 1980. This hooker that Alfred Bloomingdale's favorite hooker had tapes, and a bunch of reporters said it showed her doing a bizarre act with a dildo with Reagan. So she's pegging Reagan. Is what's in the video.
Did you see the new Reagan movie?
Sunrise in America.
Classic.
The new Reagan
That's
movie.
Reagan's
classic
a piece of
blackmail.
fucking shit. If you thought Reagan was good, you're a fucking idiot.
They kind of like brought that all back, and like my buddies are like, I'm 32, so like all my buddies.
MAGA's a Reagan slogan.
Yes, I know. All my buddies are like they were kind of like neocons, like Bush is the man, all this stuff, and it's like crazy to like grow up with, like, because in third grade 9/11 happened, and then it's just been wars ever since, and to sit there and be like, no, fucking, I like Mitch McConnell, he's a good dude. It's like,
You have buddies that say that.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, could you tell them that me?
Yeah.
I sound like Gotti. me, John Gotti. They're dumb as fuck.
Dude.
Tell them I said they're the dumbest touty fucks I've heard of in a long
try so hard.
fucking time. And mention I said cunt.
Yeah, I try so hard. The
You know
Mitch
what
McConnell's
a fucking
crazy.
moron
here
you
it
have
is.
to be.
The Vicky Morgan. Okay, yeah.
The Vicky. So anyway, she was found beaten to death with a Larry Flint bought the tape and it was stolen. And she was found beaten to death with a baseball bat, blood spattered everywhere. Her roommate went to prison for it. He showed up at the police station, didn't know how he got there, didn't remember confessing, had no blood on him.
So he just rolled up.
He just appeared at the police station, said, I did it, and then said, wait, what am I doing here? I didn't do it. Sirhan. So here's what you realize when you
That
look.
gets
This is
Spade
why you
fired
should
up, dude.
fuck UFOs, fuck all the things. Here's why you gotta look at.
Sirhan's like he's like the one that they did it to, where he sat there and wrote RFK must die, RFK must die. Like all the shit that's in the movies is
he's-
in this
The
dude.
guy who programmed him is he said he was the most suggestible man he'd ever seen. So some
He
people,
still doesn't even know what happened. He just chills in jail.
That's insane.
it's hypnosis. Do you understand? So hypnosis is a real thing.
Yeah.
It's almost like giving you permission to improv, like take an improv class. And some people won't do it. But I've seen actors who do character acting work, and it's the same thing. Once it's like permission to act, they start acting. Do you understand?
Is it creepy?
Oh, here we go.
Sacha Baron Cohen creeped me out because he's gone. When he's a
shit,
character, he looks right through you like you're not there. Now, but he's controlling that. Get it?
Yeah.
Now, imagine I can control it. Like I just torture you as a child until you go in a fetal position, as Mengele taught the CIA after we brought him to America. What heroes America is. We defeated the Nazis, but not the interesting ones that we brought
we
here
took literally all
to
of them.
experiment on hippies and black kids. I want to sing the Pledge of Allegiance right fucking now. Fucking imbeciles.
Did you ever get into the SS shit? Like with
about
them doing all like the satanic, all the weird
I
stuff?
didn't get into it. No, but look, again, the Nazi Hitler is a gain of function virus that got out of their control.
Yeah.
They were absolutely down with Hitler because that's a virus we make to kill the commie virus that we made before.
Yeah. And it's a full war that they can just wipe out the whole old world.
Dude, you explain to me why did World War I start? Well, because this one fucking cabbage person shot some other fucking cunt that I don't know who gives a shit. I don't understand that story. Oh, here's why it started. Because everybody that ran every country were cousins, and you're a fucking toy for these people. And they're playing a game of Risk with you.
Yeah.
At the end, that's the whole reason. Okay? And then why did World War II start? The same pieces of absolute shit arranged for it to start. And it ain't hard to do because, let's face it, you guys are morons that think Reagan was good.
Yeah.
I don't mean, I don't
I
mean
hear
you.
it. You're talking about the big you. Yeah, that's like.
No one did kill us like cattle. Everyone's cattle.
Yeah. And the WMD stuff, like the fact that happened and then everyone just like, oh, yeah, I guess it was a lie.
The people who sounded the alarm moved on and now believe in new WMDs.
Yeah, that is insanity.
So I don't think I'm a fucking psychic. I just can't fucking believe. It's people think prophets are fortune tellers.
Yeah.
That is not a prophet. I think I know what it is now, especially in the Bible. It's just somebody who goes, no, this is just what it is. They were looking at reality in front of them, their fucking dumb face. So like Plato's allegory of the cave, okay, is not a good allegory because literally it's like, hey, you don't even have to leave the cave. You're like, hey, this cave's filled with pedos and devil worshippers. And you're like, what? Shut up.
No one's trying to hear that shit.
Dude, look up Taylor Swift. People don't know this story. I'm surprised. I would think people would know this. It was like a wacky, fun story.
Taylor Swift and LeVay?
Taylor Swift. No, that's stupid. Taylor Swift amnesia. But guys, everybody, so you understand, if you're from a certain bloodline, or if you've been to Pennsylvania or England, you know that people inbred until there's only 3 or 4 basic fucking possible faces for these stupid fucking potato people to make. And Taylor Swift is a specific kind of German kraut, fuckhead inbred face that lots of fucking people have.
So Swifties are they're experiencing dissociative amnesia.
What?
They're having memory. You didn't hear this big story?
They're having memory gaps from Swiftie concerts. Did you see the picture of her on her final Eras tour?
That's a fun story.
Where she goes like this?
A paranoid story.
Where she goes like this? Did you see that? This looks very fucking... To me, this looks very, like, symbolic or whatever you want to call it. Like, check this out. Look at this pic. This is the pic they're saying is the end of the Eras tour.
Yeah, that's fucking...
What does that mean?
I'm just saying, like, to me, it's like...
She's a bird now?
Yeah, it looks like it means something I don't understand.
She's covering up how she got that weird, like...
Well, like the blue sky
trapezoidal body that
like they pump out the blue sky thing. It's a butterfly, and then the chick's
wait a minute, blue sky.
The chick's name literally means blue sky in Chinese.
No, the chick's name. Like, I thought
the new owner.
It does.
Yeah.
The new CEO. It's her first job out of college is CEO of Blue Sky,
and it's purely a coincidence that that's her name.
There's no way.
Because Dorsey,
and it's in Chinese.
Yeah.
Control Alt History just had a whole thing about her. So all these tech people. So here's a fun fact. I got this. You look up the guy on Danny Jones. He's a doctor.
Dude, what's up with Danny Jones, man?
Well, I don't know. But wait. He's a doctor, and he was talking about the Stanford marshmallow experiment. Do you remember the Stanford marshmallow experiment? They got a bunch of kids with a bowl of marshmallows,
great. And they got to sit and watch they're not supposed to eat it. You'll get more after if you just wait and you watch kids just struggle, dude.
And it tests your ability to forego initial satisfaction for a better payout. And they said statistically, now this is a deception, statistically the kids that could wait did much better in life. Now here's what the test is actually for: to see how much of an obedient fucking cow you are as a child. And guess who won the fucking test? Susan from YouTube.
Wojcicki?
Yeah, and her mom, and I already know they're from a devil family because the mother wrote a book. The mother wrote a book on raising great kids, and only a fucking psychopath parent would write a book. And I know parents who Vanity Press wrote books about raising their troubled kid, and they're narcissist, insane. Whether they think they worship the devil or not, they do.
Yeah.
So Susan,
my parents are pretty hands off, man.
So Susan got turbo cancer because this fucking obedient cow got the real jab.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This dumb bitch got the actual vaccine.
Dude, Bill, if you get a chance.
Fuck her and her sister was a friend of Epstein, by the way.
Yeah,
Fuck
and
their
23
family.
23
That's through the Mormon. Now, Mormons fucked also. They run. Dude.
If you can remember to watch this, dude, watch this experiment with these kids. It is fucking hilarious, though. Because you remember being like 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
They hit them with a marshmallow. And this was like quality candy back in the day. Obviously. And you're just sitting there staring at it like, don't eat it. And they're fucking dying, dude.
But the Mormons are involved in 23andMe?
Of course.
I don't know shit. I just heard someone told me that.
We always get told it's Israel.
Yeah.
Okay, Israel's not the top of the pyramid. I hate to tell everybody.
Really?
Not at all.
Is what it is, dude.
Israel has. Here's what's.
They're just the most annoying.
Look, I'm just gonna tell you. I'm just gonna tell you what my
theory,
my derp from Kerp is right now. Basically, Israel has a lot of blackmail on our satanic pedovore, meaning they eat children. I'm not saying they're pedophiles. They eat kids.
That was what's the British guy?
Seville.
Jimmy Seville.
They're all the fucking same piece of shit. They might as well be a lizard. But the lizard thing's probably a lie because they psychologically people are afraid of snakes. Some shit.
Yeah.
So Kathy O'Brien and the other one, what's her name?
Cherry Marine lady.
They had a hologram thing 60 years ago that could make them look lizardy.
What?
And they used to trick third world countries. It's crazy talking about this shit. They put a fucking under NASA. They like chilled a lizard or something, stuck in her fucking pussy, and made it look like she gave birth to it. Because the president of Mexico at the time thought he was descended from
Quetzalcoatl.
Yeah,
they had the best.
And then they
aliens.
go, see, we're learning how to do hybrids. And the thing is, they had real shit, but they would give fake shit to these dumbass, who they look down on countries. And look, it sounds fanciful. I just want to point out to you that women have dicks now. So I don't want to hear your Neil deGrasse Tyson's about how that's preposterous.
That's Bill's favorite guy.
I hate him, dude.
Well, I want to shout him out real quick because. So me and my girl watching some this guy Museum of Tarot about so sin. The name Sin's a god. Okay. Well, sin means moon. So people say Mount Sinai, but it's not. It's just Sinai. AI means mountain, and sin means so it's Moon Mountain. Okay. If you read the scripture, it's where God mooned Moses. I don't know what that's about, but
weird stuff. In that
sin
book.
was a moon. Now, this guy from Museum of Tarot who has some very interesting information too. I'm not saying everybody's all right either. I listen.
Just cool to hear.
He said it's a goddess and not a god, sin. But then I'm thinking, like, because I never really understood what sin is and why I'm on the hook for sin's being born out of a fucking pussy. Because my girl pointed out, well, it's the moon, so it's probably some period thing.
Yeah.
Of course it is. Now, if you ever saw that stupid movie with Scarlett Johansson where she can use her whole brain.
Lucy.
Which, by the way, what a dumbass.
Morgan
Imagine
Freeman's
if a woman could use her entire brain. Yo,
put that on
cut
the
out
list.
90% of your brain and you tell me if you needed it. I had a college professor say that. I'm like, oh, what a stupid thing people say. So anyway, to be immortal, like certain kinds of worms, those ones that like fuck them, they face fuck themselves.
The Ouroboros.
Those, that's what they do. So they make a clone of themselves. So it's the same worm every time, right?
Immortal.
Or you can have two sexes and then make new people, which is how humans do it.
Yeah.
And so sin is when people started dying in the Bible. And I never understood it. Oh, it's because I'm not being cloned. I'm coming out of a pussy. That's what makes you sinful. That's why everybody's so superstitious about vaginal canals around the world, right? All the religions are like, it's dirty.
Really?
Well, you see you ever see birth?
Yeah, it's disgusting.
So it's pretty easy to see how that would become a thing.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
And the child might live or die. Child sacrifice at the time, most of your kids are going to die anyway. So, of course, you're going to sacrifice a couple of them if you're not.
Can't take care of them.
I mean, that people do it now.
Yeah.
So,
Dude, we were told you could clone somebody for $1.5 million.
Nick Bryant was like, no problem.
Not any problem.
He's like,
$1 million? That's like LASIK cheap. For cloning.
For them, yeah.
That's what we were like, dude,
So
what?
the tech's been out for a while. It's only $1 million?
Yeah. Clone yourself. Start getting
all
shit
right,
done.
well, let's go. Hey, I like that Michael Keaton movie, and I'm down.
Yeah, it's just
I
fucking
can't wait
scary.
for like the idiot jerking off in a corner version. Anyway, I go, so what happens if you go back in time and kill your grandpa, right? The grandfather.
Yeah.
So my girl goes, oh, you're probably immortal and without sin.
Whoa, they say that all the time.
And I go, yeah, that is it. You become a snake blowing itself.
Yeah.
Oh, is it eating its tail? I call it blowing itself.
Same thing.
If you can blow yourself, you probably will be immortal.
If you got a piece like that, yeah, you're the man.
So I didn't know this, but here's a clip from Neil deGrasse stupid fucking Tyson. I texted it to Rogan because I couldn't believe how interesting it was. I go, why did you wait until now, Neil deGrasse, to even bring this up? The most interesting thing has ever come out of your fat fucking head.
He's brutal, dude.
Well, look, you understand, the one thing that's why I don't listen to science that, listen, the rational material fucking scientists, all these motherfuckers that study and got a lot of degrees, impressive credentials.
Yeah.
The people that pay for you to exist, you fucking nerd,
Scumbags.
they believe in the goofiest shit I've ever heard of.
Well, the Bible.
They believe they came from Atlantis. So above your dumb cunt scientist pay grade, the real power who looks at you like how I do, a fucking nerd.
Yeah.
They believe in Atlantis. And so you're sitting here debunking? Go to your boss and debunk it. You're not gonna, pussy.
Well, they say, I typed it in, it says humans would have been immortal without sin if they didn't fucking bite the tree of knowledge.
So there's a lot of stories about what it is. I don't really give a fuck, to be honest with you. The important thing is, Jesus is your public defender, dude.
Yeah,
Satan's your prosecutor. Okay? So I don't care what you believe. I care how you act.
Yeah.
You believe whatever dumb shit you want. I don't care. It's your head. How do you act in real life? That's all that matters.
That's Passio's natural law stuff.
Yeah, man.
And that's what Jesus said. He didn't say believe it. He said follow me. That means act how I act.
Yeah.
So that's what's important, not if you believe in the Trinity or all the things that you watch these fucking nerds turn it into autism. Yeah. They take a thing that's to free you from slavery and they turn it into like OCD online game meta.
Yeah.
Okay, watch this. This is now this blew my mind because I had just had this.
First to introduce me to the concept of a gin particle.
Well, there's a movie called Somewhere in Time.
Yes, Christopher Reeve.
He's able to go back in time. They fall in love. Says, "Oh, that's an interesting watch you've got." He hands it to her. She gets old, and she takes the watch and she delivers it to him. He brings it back in time
and gives it to her.
He gives it to her. So the watch had no association with a watch factory. It's a circular world line. This is called a gin particle.
So once you explain this to me, I got to then realize that in Back to the Future, Marty is playing a tune by Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry's cousin gets on the phone, calls Chuck Berry, and says, "Hey, Chuck.
Well, listen to this." The song itself is a gin. Only the song itself.
Correct.
I didn't notice that.
I didn't get that.
So 2 Russians came up with that.
Jinn, as in like the
because
Arab
in the
devil?
Quran they say that jinns leave no trace when they die.
Yeah.
So that's an Ouroboros. So these 2 chuckleheads they just solved the grandfather paradox, which is what happens if you kill your grandpa.
Yeah.
You're now a jinn. That's what that means. Some Russians theorized if you would travel in time, what the matter would be because of how it would affect the timeline. Now, a bunch of people I think already know this and believe in this that are at the highest levels of everything.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, okay, you killed your grandpa, so now you were never born, but you're already a consciousness that exists, so it don't matter. You understand?
Yeah.
You don't fade away like Marty McFly. I don't understand why they didn't think of that. I don't. Here's another thing I don't get. You heard of the Fermi paradox?
Yeah.
No.
Why
No?
why don't we know where the aliens are?
There's so many. So, okay, now, if you look it up, Fermi, first of all, it's not a paradox at all. That's not what a paradox is. Okay? And Fermi didn't fucking come up with it. Fermi was just having lunch 70 years before the term was invented and was like, well, where is everybody?
Yeah.
Then 2 jerk-offs, I can't remember their dumb cunt names, they were trying to kill funding to NASA for whatever reason. So they were like, there's no point in looking for alien. That was their thing. So that's a marketing term like fossil fuels, another nonsense term.
That is just so fake.
In fact, if you think of it, all the terms you've probably ever heard are fucking... That's why it's called spelling, because it's a magic mind control spell.
Yeah.
All the ideas are flying around, and we make word prisons to contain them. And then the prisons are imperfect, so we expand the prison, right?
Yeah.
So that's why all vaccine, woman... What are all the words that they've gaped the meaning...
That's gross.
They gape. That's what these fucking scumbags do. They gape the words, and then all the meaning slides out like fucking, a butt baby.
Yeah, it says.
I'm sorry, I'm working on it.
It says it says cloning's been around since the 70s, and then Bill Clinton made it illegal in the 90s.
Okay, no.
What was the thing? They were
Hey, you know what? The mafia wasn't allowed to sell drugs, and yet somehow, drugs were sold.
What about evolution? Are you in or out on that?
Evolution is merely a byproduct of being in 3 dimensions, and what evolution means. And I was told the wrong. Now, I had a book called "How Did Life Get Here?" by Evolution or by Creation that I would knock on doors and would give to my biology teacher. We didn't fight the school; they could teach it, but I wasn't going to believe it.
What about when you took a test?
There wasn't any kind of like where you write an essay where you take a stand on that either way.
Okay.
Number 1, evolution is not the origin of life. Evolution is the origin of species, not life. It makes no comments about if there's a God.
Yeah.
So already, I'm being lied to as a kid.
It's a theory.
Well, but do you understand? The theory is not about if there's a God. The theory is about if things change over time. And I got news for you. They fucking do.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's what evolution is. So yeah, that's a real thing. Do we come from monkeys? Well, somebody probably fucked a monkey to make us, if that's what you mean.
I think we were fucking engineered, or we were just like in this form.
Okay, we're clearly engineered. I don't know. I think we're some kind of slave race of somebody because if you notice, all the magical and all the taboos are around reproduction and having sex.
Yeah.
And that's a slave population that is as strong as apes, right? Like,
Yeah.
okay. And I've heard now the tall whites, I find that fascinating. And I don't know if that.
The tall whites are like children for like 150 years. They live for like 600 years.
What?
And they kind of look like the elves of Lord of the Rings, but if they had like Gollum's level of hair.
They almost look like they could be.
They're like translucent skin.
They're imagine the most. How to tell is like albinos. Too much of a good thing.
Yeah.
I'll have just cream.
That's such a funny fucking joke. But imagine, and I've heard them described as working class Anunnaki.
Oh my God.
Some chick who said she was in the secret. But like I said, I don't know. Now here's the thing: I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But here's what I do know. I don't think any of our terms for anything are correct. When people the extra dimensional. Okay, what's a dimension? You tell me. What is it?
No clue.
Okay, dimension is merely a direction you can move. So up, down, left, right, and then time would be 4 dimensions. Mm-hmm. And then if you had like Vrup and Drawn, I'm just making.
Yeah,
there's a book called Spaceland where the guy made up the words for the other direction. That's not a separate universe. That is merely. It's all the same universe.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I'm looking up all the names of the races of aliens, and just one of them is Nordics.
Okay, Nordics, by the way, let's assume that those are real. The good ones that aren't the lizard people.
Sure.
Thor.
They're millions of years old. I may have probably built the pyramids. They're beautiful looking. All blonde, blue eyes, sometimes redheaded, blue eyed. You're millions of years old, you say. No black people.
True, dude.
So you guys have had the same outfits and the same structures and blah, blah for millions of years. Now, there's a guy, Jazz Jabroni. That's not his name. His name's Jason Giorgiani.
I know that dude.
He said a thing that was so interesting that I really put it together.
He's a Zoroastrian guy.
Okay. He's Iranian. Aryans are Iranians.
Yeah.
Okay. So he said a real interesting thing. He goes, I think there's a 5-dimensional civilization fucking with us. That's why their shit's timeless, because they're not back and forth.
In time, yeah.
Yeah, I think time is just positional.
Tom DeLonge says that too.
Yes, and even though he's being used by the Mellon banking family, creep ass fucking.
Lou Elizondo.
Dark journalist.
Yeah.
Anybody wants Nathan Reynolds recommended Dark Journalist, and I can't recommend it highly enough because you'll get it. You got to look at everything.
Yeah,
but Dark Journalist, that guy's great. I forget his name, but he does great work, and he really is like a turbo nerd.
Oh, he was on Infowars.
Dark journalist?
He was. He was Sam Tripoli. I don't know. I didn't tell Sam about it. So Sam must have just seen him.
Yeah.
So Sam had him on. And the guy, that's how I found out about continuance of government, COG. That's just
COG will fuck you up. Yeah.
What's COG?
Underground, the fucking Phil Schneider stuff.
Shit you get killed for.
Yeah.
So that's what Cheney was in charge. So that's who tried to kill Trump. That bitch from Cheadle from the Secret Service.
Yeah.
She's the one that took Cheney into the bunker on 9/11 to shoot down the American
The
plane.
one that looks like Shane?
Yes. Wait.
No. That was just the one bodyguard.
There are a lot,
Okay,
of, a
other
lot
one?
of them look like Shane.
Just that, the
I mean,
chick
if they look
bodyguard.
like Shane, I thought they'd be a little bit better of a block.
So did I, dude. That chick fucking sucks.
Shane looks like fucking Susan Boyle.
I'll look it up.
Susan Boyle.
Cheadle.
The fucking Scottish woman that won American Idol.
Remember she had the voice?
God.
They were like, ew, you look like Shane. Because she's a woman.
What's the lady's name? Cheadle?
Yeah, CHEETLE, like the Beatles, but it's the Cheetles.
I also went to the fucking Monroe Institute. That shit was weird as fuck.
I don't trust that shit, and I wouldn't
it for
do
a
none
week.
of those. Okay, I wouldn't, and here's
Nothing
why.
happened.
Yeah, they'll tell you to keep doing it. The Museum of Tarot guy, and that's a good channel for this, because as he explained it, it's not that shit's not real or whatever, but it's a personalized thing, and that's almost imprinting someone else's brain pattern onto yours.
Mm-hmm.
So and also if the power unleashed by that, why would you just release that online for everyone? Why would they want everyone to try that?
Yeah.
Why?
Dude, they hate all forms of religion there.
Yeah, I know. So does all the fucking look.
Yo, did you ever fuck with Michael Sarian?
No, who's that?
Oh, I'll show it
It's
to you
his
later.
boy.
Oh, here's another guy you
He's a
should look
tarot
up.
guy.
I don't care about Pazio does it. I don't care about tarot. I don't care about astrology. I agree with Jazz Jabroni that it's leftover slave programming.
Yeah.
And I think he's dead right. And he's the one that pointed out the Nordics. They're fucking Germans, dude. They're not Nordic. Oh, that's a rebrand. So here's what happens. Let's just say the crazy scenario is true that the Der Glock, or the acorn that landed, the time machine fucking Nazi device, they go to Aldebaran, I don't know, 50 jillion light years away, right? If that means in the act of traveling that far, they're now 50 million years in our past.
That shit confuses the fuck out of me.
Wait, this is
Think
what
of
Jesus
time.
Giorgiani
Don't
says?
think of no. Well, No, but this is why I put together from what he said.
Okay.
But I would look what he says because I was like, oh, I hadn't thought of that.
Just I gotta slow it down from my fucking.
This is what I'm getting from.
So like they go so far out in space, they're in our past.
The light from the stars is
right.
That's why to debunk aliens, you go that light. The stars aren't even where they are because
it's so long ago. Yeah.
But if you were going faster than light, and they say this, if you go past light speed, you're going in the past.
Yeah.
So that means now they're more ancient than the 1940s when they came from. Get it?
Yeah, because
so let's say they're living there 50 million. So you got to think of it as miles. Star Trek tells you wrong. They make it like you're on the ocean.
Yeah.
You go, okay, where do dinosaurs live? They live 50 million miles away from where I live in a direction that I can't go. That's all. And I got this from creepy ass Michael Aquino.
I hate him, dude.
Well, listen, here's what I did, and I shouldn't have. Well, I don't actually. I know something, so I don't mind it. But his voice is so hypnotic and pleasant, and he explained this thing, the thing that I've watched string theory garbage on that garbage fucking fake theory for years, trying to understand it, and nobody understands it because it's there to tie you up in a wheel of samsara, doing the same bullshit over and over.
Yeah.
The wheel of samsara is a hamster wheel, and it's mind control. It's not any kind of afterlife. It's a thing. Oh, we're gonna release some of the same information that came out 30 years ago about aliens.
They do. They recycle the shit. Like, dude, by the time you're old, you're just gonna be like, I've seen everything.
The wheel of samsara. These are all mind control Tibetan Buddhism.
Kurt. So it's like you're saying that this thing about you, they've got us thinking it's 50,000 miles away or whatever.
Hey, let's say I'm in an underground base making a gross lizard man for psyop reasons, and I put him on one of these shit. If you have anti-gravity, you have a time machine. That's what he said.
Right.
And you do, automatically. Anti-gravity, that's called frame drag, that planets do, and you've heard of this in regular physics. Okay, if you could do that, and I'm making chimeric reptile humans, and I put them on a ship, and I shoot them off to a planet millions of light years away, now they're older than humans. So now think of what you could do. Think of like Israel, whatever, or any country that's like, we were here first.
Yeah.
Think of the fucking warfare you would do.
Dude, I'm gonna throw up.
You can fuck with people.
We were here first.
Crazy.
No, you flew out, right?
Yeah.
So now I don't know that any of that's fucking true because this mind control thing means this could all be just stories someone puts in your head and you think it's reality.
Yeah, right. For real.
You didn't go to space. There's no way to tell, but here's what I realized. It's the same difference. When you're not just an observer, okay? You're a projector. So that's what the spark of God is.
Yeah.
Satan's not the creative one. Satan's a lawyer and a fucking manager.
That's where I am, dude. The Allspark, like in Transformers.
That's right, the Allspark. That's exactly right. Transformers. In fact, I would say a lot of stuff's in Transformers, but people don't like to hear that.
He loves Transformers.
That's where I learned Megan, what's her name, is a witch because of them fucking hammer thumbs.
Oh, she's a man.
Her new movie.
You guys are from Pennsylvania. You know Hexenmeister lawyer.
Yeah.
That's the mark of a witch. Fat thumbs on a hot chick?
Megan is in a new movie where she's a sex slave robot, like an AI sex slave robot.
Jesus fucking
Yeah.
Christ.
The Stepford Wives. Remember Stepford Wives?
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
And dude, you know what I wanted to talk to you about? Oh, that brings it up to me. So there's certain actors like Tom Hanks, Nicole Kidman that do like big time mind control over the course of their careers, like with their. So she was a Stepford wife. That's what I thought of.
Dude, remember that?
Tom Hanks's movies have been the most mind control of America for sure.
I just watched Bachelor Party again, and I had to order it because it has where the guy gets tricked by a trap, his friend. So that
He had to put on the dress.
Out there.
Yeah, Tom Hanks put on the dress very young.
It wasn't Tom Hanks. It was a guy who's at the bachelor party gets tricked by an obvious dude.
Right.
Okay? It was like funny shit. And then also they have a donkey there, and a lady's going to like fuck a donkey in the room.
When was this movie?
In the
80s, dude.
Every 80s movie, if you go back and watch it, you're like, what is this?
He was one like the man with red shoes or something like that.
I got to go back and watch it. But look,
all of them too have the weird thing. Like, look at this. Another thing with the fucking rainbow thing.
Yeah, they all have that rainbow
I don't get it.
metal or whatever.
That's because God promised not to kill you with a flood, and it's like, wait, so I don't know if that's true, but I'm just
big.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm 47. So every girlfriend I had since I was fucking 36 probably has been 10 years younger than me, which is the normal.
All right, humble brag.
Nice brag.
It's not a brag. That's how you would have
A little bit of brag.
Not at all. What are you talking about? That's the normal way it's supposed to be. Now, I dated a girl 10 years older than me, and
You're a sex slave.
Dude, a woman is like 20 years ahead maturity-wise.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, Karen Fian, I saw her, But I like her. She's great on tires too, by the way. But she goes, yeah, my boyfriend's 10 years younger than me. And she said it, that's such a New York ruined by Sex in the City.
Yeah. That ruined
girl
girls.
boss.
It ruined a generation of girls that are like, you should be gay men. Well, how come you all don't suck dick like gay men, bitches? Anyway, I go, I don't care if you're, what is that, a status symbol to you? Here's what I know. That guy's getting on your fucking nerves already.
Yeah.
Because he might as well be 30 years younger than you.
Might as well
And
be
you
an
basically have a child, or, best case scenario, you have a dog you can fuck.
That's what Madonna does.
Of course.
Dude, her face is fucked.
Oh, that's bad, dude.
That's what aliens are. They got too much surgery. Rich people that transitioned and they can't transition back.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
That's a good fucking theory.
But of their soul, like they got their, like the tits of their soul got chopped off, or the dick and balls of their soul was chopped, like that bad.
Yeah.
And they didn't realize what that's what I think. Anyway, a woman should 10 years older than you. It'll never work out. And if it does, then there's something bad going on.
Yeah, very bad.
10 years younger, man, I'm the same maturity as a woman 10 to 12 years younger than me, because I'm a fucking retard.
My girlfriend's 7 years younger than me.
Okay, so that's just fucking standard. And what I noticed in that time frame is every 80s movie I remember as a 47-year-old, if you show it to a girl that's not from that specific generation, dude, Revenge of the Nerds, I remember my ex, I can't remember how old she was watching it. We watched Revenge of the Nerds, and she was like getting upset. And I was laughing. She was, wait, they just filmed them while they're naked in their room? And then later, he rapes the chick with a Darth Vader helmet on, posing as her boyfriend. Yeah, no, that's what you did.
There's a lot of weird like teen romp movies like that when back in the day. Like Bill Murray was in one called Meatballs. Like
dude, that one with Mark Wahlberg's bizarre.
What movie?
Oh,
where he's a foster kid?
No, where he's
Let
like,
me in your house.
Yeah, he was like obsessed with the girl and like fucking cards her name. What the fuck is that movie?
With the yeah.
It's not Cape Fear.
No, but it's like that. It's like that for tween Cape Fear.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah.
Like the chick's like playing with herself and stuff. And she's like 13.
What movie are you talking about?
Mark Wahlberg, where he like gets obsessed with the girl and like breaks into the house.
Yo,
there's like a big.
Remember Lone Survivor? I'm actually mad about this. It makes
saw
me
Lone
mad.
Survivor.
Because I teared up when I saw that back in the day.
Yeah, where you're saying
Yeah,
the
all
same
bullshit.
story.
All bullshit.
I know.
I love Green Berets. Because I play
it's
SEAL.
called Fear.
Fear.
Yeah, I play Navy SEAL things. Like there's one Pennsylvania I did when I like all them dudes, but those are like not the famous ones.
Yeah.
But Navy SEALs as a propaganda tool ever since that fake Osama story.
Oh yeah.
Where they just killed an old man that was already sidelined
put him
and
in
pretended
the water.
Yeah, and then a Muslim they didn't, by the way. They gave it back to the family.
Yeah.
He's a very important person.
Obviously.
He's a monarch, if you will. Anyway, that's all. Marcus Luttrell, he just finally came out and said, like, no, the Navy wrote the book.
Yeah.
So when they say ghostwriter, okay, just so everybody understands this, the celebrity's not, or whoever is not sitting with a writer.
I mean, some comedians have joke writers.
Yeah.
I just wrote for Chris Rock for the SNL thing.
Really?
Yeah, for the monologue.
Oh, when they did this is congratulations on 25 years of funny, but they've been around 50.
I bet that was Frank Sebastiano. That was one of the better ones. But he didn't use none of mine.
Really?
I still get paid. I don't give a shit.
No, true.
I think he should have. Because the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul thing, I think he should have used. Because
What is it? Say it. Is it good?
Well, the main line is like, I've seen gay guys throw harder slaps at the Oscars.
That's a nice one, dude.
Well, but okay, his reason, I understand the reason.
You want to
Keep
fire
your
him up.
wife's name out of my mouth.
No, the reason is on his last special, he said all he wanted to say about it, I guess.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I do understand that, but that would have killed, dude.
Obviously.
I do it, and it kills.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm not Chris Rock. Because I want to test them and see if they work. you
Yeah.
know? But, yeah, so, and I had one meeting. I like Chris Rock. I've talked to him before. Like, I was supposed to write for the Oscars for him. He called me up, and I talked to him for like 2 hours, and I was like, I really like this. Like, I didn't really know him at all. And anyway, so we talked for so long, I thought he was going to text me and shit. But I realized his assistant emails me, because I don't check my email.
Yeah.
So I'm in Winnipeg doing a gig, and I'm coming back on the plane, and my manager called, did you write a joke for Chris Rock for the Oscars about Jada Pinkett being bald? I go, oh shit, was that tonight? I didn't realize it was the Oscars. No, because I'm not gay.
Yeah, sure.
And
Straight.
I was like, oh, like the whole thing went by without me even noticing, because I thought I had more time. I was thinking about it, and nobody texted me. If you don't text me, you're not getting your shit.
Obviously. I hate fucking emails, bro.
Yo, and I'll just miss out on it. I don't give a fuck.
That was
But this
another
time
Tom
they
Hanks
texted me.
movie. You've Got Mail.
Yeah.
Yeah, Man One Red Shoe I'm going to look at again. But look, most of these actors and shit, J.R. Sweet, you should look up his story. And it's called Mormon Monarch. And I saw Colonel, we have him on Jimmy's show, McGregor, Colonel McGregor.
Douglas McGregor.
Yo, he openly talks about MK Ultra, but he didn't say Monarch, but he said the thing.
Yeah, right.
They took kids under Disneyland to program them underneath Disneyland.
Disneyland was built on a swamp.
So everybody that no, that's World Disneyland.
Oh, LA's
Yeah,
land.
They did it there.
California.
LA's
It's
land.
Orlando, the pedophile Miami. So
Yeah, yeah.
they did it there too. But what J.R. Sweet said was he would be on a ride. I think it's a small or something, and the ride would break down. They take him off the kid because his parents put him in the program.
Yeah.
And Mormons are obedient as fuck.
Really?
Oh yeah, they don't
Yeah,
do drugs.
I mean,
they're
all
good.
the-
They're good feds. Mitt Romney's make
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
They're all CIA guys, man.
Well, because guess what? And it's not just Mormons. I'm not picking anybody's stupid fucking religion that you should cling to. Yeah. Well, I believe in God, and I definitely, if I'm in trouble, I want my free call to Jesus. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I get that. I just get that, and I want it. I ain't talking to nobody until I get my call to Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay?
Because
That's
I
how
want to.
Yo, you got to think of it that way because it, for some reason, whatever you believe, I heard enough stories of this shit for some reason, and it could be as simple as this, but still valid. When somebody goes, I'd like to talk about Jesus. Oh, God, here we go. I don't want to hear this. My friend Emma, on her Imagination podcast, it opens up with a prayer. She goes, Heavenly Father, we put on the shield of faith. And I'm like,
Is that a Mormon prayer?
Dude, I react like a vampire, and I believe, like, and then it dawned on me, like, why am I reacting like a vampire just hearing this?
Yeah.
And I go, like I'm a creature from a damned creature. And I was like, I told her, I'm like, that's smart because that'll keep certain eyes off it that you don't want to be on it because they're going to be chased off.
Saying the boss's name.
So if you think that Jesus is real or you think he's fake and you just don't want to hear it, it makes you go, that's the same difference.
Yeah.
If you're crazy and you have split personality and you think it's a demon, but it's not a demon, it's your brain, but then you have crazy strength, and what's the difference? What is the... So we made up words and nobody knows what anything is. And so you have to
I'm
be...
with you on this.
I got this from Passio, dude. That the hemispheres of your brain, human nature is programmability. That's the big secret. That's what the Templars brought back from Egypt.
That's what he says. They're just masters of psychology.
Yeah.
And that is the secrets of the Masons and all that. And how... But what I want to know is who gave them this programming. So it's a bunch of priests that are corrupt. So Pharaoh, and this is in Wallace Budge book from 1901, about how all the Egyptian shit is just mind control. Because the Pharaoh's a show, like a Las Vegas showgirl with that stupid hat.
Yeah.
Right? And the priest, and he spends his whole day planning for his death. They're a death-based culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Necronomicon.
It's a death cult, yeah.
Yeah, when you die, you're going to have to say the magic. It's like something out of Three Amigos. The singing Bushman will be there, and you must say
That's what your boy Aquino found.
like the Mummy movies.
He summoned, what is
Set.
it?
I like that because
Yeah.
Set is like, oh, Satan. That's what it's like if you met Michael Keaton and you liked his Batman.
Yeah.
He's like Set's the actor that played Satan,
Yeah.
and Michael Aquino is probably bred to be that. So according to Nathan Reynolds,
Those eyebrows.
dude, I think it's not supernatural because it's real, so that would make it just normal.
Yeah.
But Nathan described that who brought it up, the warlock versus warlock detection thing. Somebody
Oh,
yeah,
Stephen
yeah.
Kelly, yeah, with the
Nathan said that. So Nathan, and they do a good cop bad cop on you. He joins the Air Force and gets emancipated from his family after being molested by the Knights of Columbus through his grandfather,
fuck.
Wait, Nathan or Aquino?
Nathan Reynolds.
Okay.
I say look up Nathan Reynolds because I think he's a genuine Christian because he fucking talks about hope for hybrids.
That's what's up.
Do you know how Christian that is? Where like even if you were made into a lizard through no fault of your own,
There's still hope. Yeah.
and
We
he
can save
also
you.
tells the truth about fucking Gaza.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, I watched L.A. Marzulli, who fuck you Marzulli. That motherfucker said they're the Amalekites.
Really?
Oh,
kids
I've
of
heard
Gaza.
of this. I've heard of this
So
shit
that
before,
means he's
yeah.
a lying piece of shit, and there ain't nothing Christian about being
go-
okay with sacrificing
Yeah.
children.
You've seen the
He's
clip
a cunt.
where,
L.A. Marzulli, fuck him.
There's like
I
Netanyahu.
rebuke him in the name of in the name of Josh Christ.
In Hebrew, dude, they get on the news and they're like, they are Amalek. And it's like, this
That's
is
crazy
Yeah,
to
yeah.
do.
It's very Ashkenazis, man. I'm biased in favor of Jews. I want to make that clear. I would never listen to an Arab or a Muslim anything. I want everyone to know I'm a good person. You think I would let someone with a hat different than the kind I would wear, with their fucking, who I kind of look like if I get a tan? Tell me.
I never heard. We went to Catholic school, so we never said this armor of God thing. I just looked it up. It's like there's the belt of truth, the breastplate of righteousness.
Let me tell you something. Disembodied entities or whatever, and all the people in this, it's, if you notice, because all Kabbalah based.
Yeah.
So it's very legalistic and very literal. No, it's like legal, like the devil finds a contract. See,
Yeah, true.
Oh, thank God my nicotine toothpicks came. I guess I'm vaping. Okay, so I think, look, so Jay Parker and also Mark, the people that run shit, that put the Bible together for you to read.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this makes the Bible worthless, because I got a lot of value out of it. But they are, I was always like, why would they think they would win that war? Well, because they put the book together with what they wanted. And they have to put some stuff in, like an iTunes agreement.
Yeah.
There's a very legalistic thing, okay?
Terms of service.
So, you make a deal with the devil and it backfires on you. So this is my suspicion, and I could be wrong, but if I'm wrong, what's the difference? So let's say Jesus was born because Mary is from a good family in a cult, a messianic. There's no such thing
They
as
just made a Netflix about it.
there's no such thing as the Jews. That's a bunch of tribes.
Yeah.
Okay. Ari Shafir is. I love talking to him because he went to yeshiva and he was going to be a rabbi. They don't all think the same thing.
Not even close.
Zionism is not Judaism. I fucking can't stand when people conflate it. Nazis and racists do that.
Yeah.
Like Zionists. So, so Jesus is born in one of these cults, these generational abuse control cults. And I've seen ex-monarch people say he's a guy that was born into it, that figured it out. That's what
Got
he is.
out of it.
That's why they got him.
Now, yeah, maybe that's, see, Jazz Jabroni, if you watch him, there's another guy, because the Muslims think Jesus didn't really die, and the Gnostics think he didn't
Then there's
really
like
die.
the Mithra, like there's, and then really
I'm going to tell you my wild,
Really?
here's my speculation,
Yeah.
there's probably 3 guys. Just like the 3 Jokers comic.
That's a good idea.
Hermes Trismegistus.
Well, these people love 3s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in every religion, for some reason, there's like 3 Persians that show up. There's the Magi.
The 3 yeah.
Muhammad had 3 Persians and one of the hadiths that would come and confer with him, and no one could come in the tent. So why do Iranians, why do they keep popping up at like the Dr. Fauci is making a new viral thing?
They are?
Well, that's how I look at it. So I'm just hypothesizing.
Sure. Yeah.
So Jesus is born in this thing, and it's a sacrifice. And I think it backfired on these assholes so when I used to work at The Wiz, or one of these, like, my mom worked at Tops, the bait, like you put a coupon in the fucking flyer and you have to honor it legally. And like my mom was the type of mom that knows exactly what she's supposed to get.
Yeah, from the coupon.
Yeah.
She's not tricked by the language, and they have to honor it.
That would slow down checking out at the grocery store back in the day by so much.
Why do
dude.
they want you? Am I being trained? I don't want to hear about Jesus. There's nothing bad about Jesus other than I'm forgiven for the debt. You could feel it, dude. There's a debt that like a check being passed down where people want revenge for the last thing that happened, and it never gets paid. And so the idea, to me, the appeal of Jesus was, hey, I'm the one guy that didn't do nothing and nobody, and you can kill me, okay? And now you can forgive each other because I didn't deserve this at all.
Yeah.
But I don't mind. Go ahead and kill me. And now you could drop your shit and forgive each other. Okay? And if everybody wants this to end, you're going to have to be able to do that, because the perpetrators are victims as well. It's a pyramid structure. The sturdiness is the victimhood is Bernie Sanders, you got to rape this boy or you're not going to be a senator. You hear that story? I don't know if it's true, but it explains a lot.
What's his name says Jesus is a pedophile.
Who?
Amon Hillman.
Amon Hillman.
Oh, do you like that guy?
Hey, I like everyone. I think they're nice. Who cares who I like? The point is, the perpetrators are victims. So what's the only way out of this slavery is forgiveness.
Right.
Now, I got to tell you, there's a lot of people I don't feel like fucking forgiving. Right?
Yeah.
So how the fuck am I going to do that without some kind of Jesus power?
Right.
I'm not. I really try, but I'm telling you, I don't want to. So I get Jesus. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that backfired on this cult. The serpent race that rules the world, I think it backfired because they have to honor that coupon that they printed. So they can laugh at you and say, you're dumb for believing in Jesus, but you made up as above, so below. That means your dumb spell you made, you got to abide. You can fake reality. You could do it.
Right.
But you have to abide by the made up reality you created. So if you want to say I'm a werewolf, the rules of a werewolf apply to you because you're in 3-dimensional reality.
This is fucking me up. So you were saying that there's
God's the author is what I think. And I think it's Satan is not his enemy. That's like saying the mountain is George R.R. Martin's enemy.
Yeah, right.
That's ridiculous. Satan's your enemy. That's the point in the book. There's the protagonist and antagonist.
Right.
But these motherfuckers want to be just like Disney fucking up Star Wars. Take your pick.
I've never thought of this shit before, that there's a 5-dimensional civilization or whatever fucking with us, and then they can
Jazz Jabroni
travel through
Jason
back in
Giorgiani. Let me say his name right. But
Yeah,
Jazz
yeah.
Jabroni, he has,
Jason
now, I don't
Reza
agree with
Giordani.
him
Yeah.
on Prometheism. I think that's like crazy that he wants to make a deal with this one entity.
Yeah, the guy that gave us fire.
The trickster.
Yeah.
A lot of these people are like the trickster. I'm going to say don't do that just because he's called the trickster. You fucking genius that went to Dalton School.
Right.
Where Epstein taught.
Did he go to Dalton?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was from Iran. I thought he was like, lived there his whole life.
Diamonds on the soles of the shoes. Diamonds on the soles of the shoes. Diamonds on the soles of the shoes. Diamonds on the soles of the shoes.